gritty Midwest work ethic. The Vandals rookie quarterback Nathan Enderle is catching up with his big play defense. That's where guys like Ko, Vabora, Ogletree, and Franks are all putting the stop on the opposition. Rob Akey's new crew looks to stay perfect at home. It's Idaho and NIU next. It's time for Vandal football. Welcome to the Palouse. You are inside the Kibbie Dome in Moscow, Idaho. The Idaho Vandals close out their non-conference schedule, getting ready for WAC play next week. But for now, the guests are the Northern Illinois Huskies from the Mid-America Conference. Welcome, everyone, to the Go Vandals Television Network for 2007. I am Bob Akamian. This is Mike Lamb. We've got one more non-conference game for the Vandals before we get into the WAC season. Sometimes these are good things because you have to pay a little more attention preparing for a team you don't know that well.
Well, it's great to have teams that you're not comfortable with, like when NIU played Iowa, like when the Vandals took on USC and Washington State from the Pac-10.
As we take a look at our Pepsi keys to refreshment for this game, it's time to get to know each other a little more so. 32 years after the last meeting for the Idaho Vandals, Deontay Jackson, who's been a force on the ground, has to continue to run wild.
Well, he is the biggest weapon on the field, and Idaho is going to find more and more ways to utilize him. Conversely, NIU must try to figure out a way to stop him.
Husky quarterback Dan Nicholson's thrown for a great percentage, but he's made some big mistakes. Got to cut that out.
Yeah, he's close to 70%, but it's 3 touchdowns versus 7 interceptions. That's not a number you can live with. He must try to limit his mistakes.
And finally, physicality. Who's going to win this game in the pits? That might win the game.
NIU has always prided itself on being a very physical football team. Idaho must now answer, and they've got to be just as tough up front.
Two teams wanting to win real bad because conference play awaits. We'll kick it off when we come back. Northern Illinois and Idaho, and a key guy for Idaho is going to be Deontay Jackson. We talked about all the things he does for this team. His killer cutback has really wreaked some havoc.
And look for that today. Deontay Jackson, look at his numbers against USC, 1 yard away from 100, 200 plus against Cal Poly, and then over 100 again against the Cougars.
Let's play some football. The Huskies, the Vandals. It's Saturday in the Palouse. We'll get it started when we come back. You're watching the Go Vandals Television Network.
ESP. First, they were the
Tonight we're perfect.
Hey guys.
Hey, David, what's up, man?
We still going out tonight?
Oh, definitely. It's a huge night. Stuart and John are coming too.
Nice.
Where should we meet?
What about the lobby?
No. Lobby's no good. He'll look there. I'd say parking lot.
Cool. 7 o'clock. I'll be there.
Well,
See you guys later.
Oh, yeah. Big night.
Oh, huge.
By the University of Idaho, Boise, Idaho Falls, and Coeur d'Alene, where you can earn the degree you need to lead. Welcome back to the Kibbie Dome. It is time to play football, the Vandals and the Huskies. And let's take a look at our first Pepsi Rewind of the day as we look at the performance so far this year of Justin Anderson, who does a little bit of everything for this NIU team.
He does a lot of everything. This is a guy that is very physical. Obviously, he's got very good speed, and he can catch out of the backfield. When you talk about versatility, I think that's what you're looking for in a running back.
And he's proven to be an even better receiver than perhaps the Huskies thought. And Northern Illinois' got a pretty good stalwart bit of history, but this series, it's been a while since these teams got together. As you take a look at Joe Novak in his 12th season, he is the senior coach in the Mid-America Conference. And he's had a great string of taking this team to postseason, off to an 0-3 start. A lot of that's because of youth and some injuries. Rob Akey, a guy we've gotten to know very well in the Palouse at Washington State over the years as an assistant. He's got his very own team to run now, and he's already done a lot of things the right way for the Idaho Vandals. Only the 5th time these two schools have ever met in football. The home teams won every time, and you got to go back to the 70s for the last time these schools got together. That was right here in Moscow. So it's kind of a new thing. Dad's weekend. We got some dads sprinkled in with the students on the far side, and we are ready to play football. Vandals are going to get the ball first to start this game. That was the last time they played, Thanksgiving of 1975. What were you playing about then, Mike Lang?
Twister, I imagine.
You and I were in high school then, I believe. But that's how long it's been. These programs have come a long way. Northern Illinois went through that whole era of option football. Very successful independent with Jerry Pettibone. They left the MAC and were fortunate to get back into it. The Vandals since that time have sojourned from the Big Sky, Big West, Sun Belt, and now home in the WAC. One of the best kickers, certainly the most productive kicker in the country, Chris Nendick, is going to kick it off for Northern Illinois. Dewey Hale, a surprise as a kick returner back deep to receive. He's going to let this one go through the end zone, and the Vandals will start their first possession at their own 20 with a young man who's had a great learning curve already this year, Nathan Enderle, the quarterback, the redshirt freshman from North Platte, Nebraska. Basically got this offense April of this year, beginning of spring ball, and Steve Axman, the offensive coordinator, so impressed with how Nathan has picked things up.
Well, he said to us in our meetings that he felt because he was so bright, he was able to install much more of the offense than he thought he was going to be able to, and that's a real testament to the intelligence of Nathan Enderle.
Vandals will go with one back much of the game, but you'll see bits of motion. Deontay Jackson the back, trip on the snap, and Jackson is buried. Take a look at the rest of the Vandals starting lineup. Offensive line has some experience. Chris Anderson, two-time academic, all WAC. Marcus Fennell getting the start today at one outside spot. The rest of the backs and receivers, Deontay, of course, will be in there almost every down in offense, and you're going to see a lot of moving around with Jorvik, the tight end, Raleigh Lumbala, Eddie Williams. Loss of one. Little trip on the new carpet here at the Dome. You see the motion. There's Jackson for the first time, running well behind his blockers. And again, that rugged NIU defense with the stop. Let's meet the Husky D now. They've had to make a lot of changes because of injuries, especially in those tackles. They are definitely in irregular ops right now. They even moved a guy over from the offensive line. Dan Keller will be backing up at the defensive spot. Linebackers, they're missing Tim McCarthy. They'd love to have right now. Corey Hansen coming back from a concussion. The DBs, the veterans, especially at the corners, Melvin Rice. Good cover man. Third down and long for Idaho. And shotgun for Enderle. Plenty of time, but too much for the tight end trying to get to Bjorvik. And we'll get our first look at the punt team and TJ Conley.
We talked in the open about the physicality of NIU, and that was no difference there. Their defensive line trying to tee off on the offensive line of the Vandals and able to get pressure on Enderle on third down.
Doug Turner back to receive this punt. Big rush by the Huskies. And it's a pop-up for Conley. Good coverage, and NIU will start at their own 43-yard line. Now we'll get our first look at a guy who throws for a very high percentage. Dan Nicholson, the junior out of Brother Rice in Chicago, taking over his starter this year, but he had the advantage of getting to start 5 games the last couple of years because of injuries. So it never hurts to have run the system, and Joe Novak's run the same system pretty much 12 years.
But once you understand it, I think that you come out and you have some ease, and the only thing that has hurt Dan Nicholson has been, from time to time, he throws an interception late in the game and has caused losses.
High formation. First down, you'll see this all day long, and there is Justin Anderson, and just smothered. And those Vandal linebackers getting up. Let's meet the NIU offense right now. Start with the offensive line. Aceveda, Eddie Adamski, very exciting sophomore, taking over in the center. And John Brost, all academic, out of the tackle spot. There are your backs and receivers. The big threat is Britt Davis, already 13 catches this year. No gains, second down, 10 for the Huskies. Anderson again and again. The Vandal backers with penetration. And that is Andrew Blevins. Usually plays linebacker, slid out to the end spot with some help from Shiloh Kale. Let's meet that Vandal defense now. And some changes on the end, especially Blevins, who made the initial stop there, sliding out to play in the end because Ben Alexander has a little hammy problem. These guys will be moving all over the place. Ogletree, Jardis, and Vobora. And of course, Shiloh Kale, Mr. Big Play. Watch for him here on 3rd and 11. And we have a whistle, and Rob Akey asking a question over on the far side. And this is where Dan Nicholson has gotten himself in trouble this year on these 3rd and longs.
3rd and long, he has had a certain propensity to try to force things and get a play that is not there. I've seen him throw into double coverage. I've seen him throw into triple coverage, and he would serve himself very well to be just a little bit more patient. Maybe one more counts, and the receivers can come open.
Now the Vandals have time to think about it. Showing a little bit. Blitz with Ratty. Now he drops. Passes to the middle. Trouble there. And a knockdown. Brayan Williams. The JC transfer from Pasadena, who's really made a mark early on. This is the guy that had the head-on concussion in practice. He was going hard from minute 1. There's a penalty flag in the field.
Little holding. On top of everything else.
On the offense. Penalty, decline, 4th down.
That's our Mid-America Conference ref, Ravon.
On 3rd down, you saw an example of what we're talking about, throwing into double coverage, and the receiver is not open. You've just got to be a little bit more patient than that, and that is exactly where Dan Nicholson has gotten himself into trouble this season.
Andy Dittbenner, the punter, got hurt in the Iowa game making a tackle. He's willing to be a little tough. And here's Kale back at the 15, and he gets leveled, and there's a flag. Ball's out. Kale given no opportunity at that football. They get rid of the halo rule, but there's still that fine line.
Well, that wasn't much of a fine line. the ball was not there. You like the aggressiveness, but you got to play under control. So Brandon Nystrom, or check that. Patrick George from NIU a little early.
Take catch interference, 33 on the kicking team. 15 yards from the left side.
One more look at it.
You know,
No, you have to let him at least get near the ball.
Yeah, it's just, that's pretty clear cut. It's not even bang bang, and there's the conversation.
The Vandals get a nice opportunity here, advancing the ball up to the 30 for their 2nd possession. The motion with Eddie Williams. There's that cutback with Jackson. Jackson on the loose. 1st down, Vandals out near midfield. 18-yard gain for Deontay Jackson.
The Idaho Vandal offense has a real luxury, and that is a number of very good tight ends. So they can line up in a 2 tight end set. They can put a tight end in motion, and you see a lot of blocking going on the backside. There's the cutback, the over pursuit by the Huskies, and Deontay Jackson makes them play.
Mark Ryder, a saving tackler. That might have gone all the way. Vandals off the schneid with the first down of the game. Jackson a single back. Time for Enderle. Now he's taken down from behind. Good backside coming in, and that's Larry English, a guy who's in there every down defensively for Northern Illinois, the junior from Aurora. Still not all the way back. He hurt his knee against TCU in the Poinsettia Bowl last year.
And now
he
hurt.
goes down now.
Yeah.
Still played pretty much every down this year, but just hasn't quite been the same. Very active player. Nagurski candidate this year.
Yeah, I like that, didn't you? The trainer had not paid attention to him. He hurt himself, so he went down. That's the thinking man's D lineman right there.
And they're looking at his left hand. So the going down was just to get the attention of the trainer.
Exactly.
Loss of 4. Watch our wide man, Maurice Shaw. freshman from Ontario, California. He's wide to the right. Overhand in Jackson all the way. Slips the line. Got a late flag from the secondary. Jackson into NIU territory. That flag in the middle usually is in holding country.
Deontay Jackson is a player that you think, well, that speed, he's probably going to go outside all the time. And then when he does go through the hole like that, I think it's somewhat surprising to defenses. It's the opposite of lulling you to sleep. You're so fast on the outside, you think that's where he's going to go all the time, and then right underneath, hit you right in the chops.
Illegal block, low waist on the off. Yards from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Well, that sort of wipes out the gain on the punt return. As far as field position, now you have a 2nd and long, and we'll see Enderle stretch the field for the first time. I think everybody was pleasantly surprised how well Nathan threw the ball downfield against Washington State's defensive backs last week.
Had a big play in the beginning there. That first touchdown.
His favorite receiver, Max Komar, in the slot. Getting some protection from the fullback, Lumbala. And that is Shaw up at midfield. It'll make it a 3rd down and 9. And this is a guy that the offensive staff wants to see.
And there's a flag.
We got a flag too. That's Maurice Shaw. Only caught a couple of balls this year. Probably the fastest guy of the receiver group.
And somebody that can stretch a defense. Someone who's probably earned more playing time. Enderle pretty much has him all the way. Gets set, throws it down, and watch Shaw come down with this.
5-yard face mask. Number 37 of the defense. 5 yards first down. Second down.
Love to see a receiver that'll go up in traffic like that, not afraid to get the ball. Some guys want to catch it when they're wide open, and that's the only time they want to catch it. But Maurice Shaw shows speed, and then he shows the ability to finish with the defender hanging right on him.
And we add a face mask to that. Moves the ball further again. So now just 4 yards to go to get the first down. Norvin already a couple early penalties. Showing some blitz with Corey Hansen. Looks like Enderle's changing things at the line. A naked screen out. And that's going to be good for the first down. Ball's out of the end. Too late.
Thinking our hero from the previous shade, Maurice Shaw, may very well have got called for the hold downfield. See what the flag is.
Komar had the first down. Max Komar, leading receiver so far this season, 11 catches, 3 touchdowns. And English back in the game after coming off with whatever was bothering him on the hand.
So he's back up. I wish I'd been smart enough to use that.
And we're going to march the other way, and Rob Agee not thrilled.
You know, though, the one thing, if a receiver is downfield blocking like that, that's one of the hardest things for coaches to get them to do. So I don't know if you want to criticize them too much. You want to tell them, you know, have better technique, but, you know, the effort is there for a long play.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat second down.
So this has been the longest second down you'll ever see. Because the face mask gave him the down back. And so it's still second down, and this time 8 to go. Well, we started out with 2nd and 25.
Yeah.
Second possession for the Vandals. They started at their 30. First foray into Husky territory. Extra back in the block, and there's Deontay on the cutback. First down and more to the 30. Well, the Vandals very aware of Northern Illinois' pursuit, and you saw Bjorvik come back in the backfield as a blocker. They use those tight ends all over the field, and that was the one extra guy that sprung Jackson to the line of scrimmage.
It's not only that, but the Northern Illinois loves to slide over to the strong side. So Deontay Jackson, aware of that, he's going to be looking weak side all day until they adjust back to play a little more balanced on the line.
Vandals knocking up the door at the 29. Bouncing Eddie Williams around in the backfield. Jackson again with the cut. This time he gets past the line of scrimmage, but no more. Ryder up to make the play, the senior.
And that was a quick adjustment. You know, we talked about them playing it over, which means you have more men over to the strong side. They got back to a base defense that time, and not the big run that they had on the previous down.
Second down, 9 to go. Flags immediately. Vandals, their second home game here at the Dome. They beat Cal Poly 2 weeks ago.
Dead ball, false start, number 71 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
But aside from the trip to SC, Idaho has not had to travel much. Northern Illinois, this is their longest trip of the year, and then they'll get back into MAC play, which is more bus than plane. Second and 15. A bunch formation to the right. Reverse with Komar. Got a lead block from Jason Bird. First down, spinning inside the 15-yard line. Max Komar, the walk-on from Auburn on the west side of the mountains in Washington. Showing he's got a little touch running the ball as well as catching.
Max Komar has definitely shown this season that he's not afraid of much, and when you pursue one way, you're going to be open on the backside. And really, Jason Bird comes around and makes an excellent block, and that is one of the reasons that is such a big game for the Vandals.
When you run that play, you bring Bird in as a single back, but he's as good as a fullback. Stretch with Jackson, cuts back inside the 10. It's first down from the 14-yard line. And the Vandals doing what they want, marching on the ground early in this game.
See big Mike Iapati up in front there, leading the way, giving the love. And I just look at Deontay Jackson, and I see a guy that Lyman would grow to love. The way that he plays, the way that he runs. I think there's going to be a great relationship between those guys.
Motion man is Eddie Williams. Jackson again. Nice hole. He is in. Touchdown, Vandals. Deontay Jackson crosses the goal line for the second time this year at 6-0.
Guy's a proven veteran and a big game pitcher. He says he tweaked his back and needs to go on the DL. He needs to go on the DL.
Oh, please, will you give me a break? The guy is a wuss. He pitches once every 5 days. He's in the worst division in baseball. He is a spoiled, pampered softy. Easy on the cuticles.
What makes them different makes them great. Mike and Mike in the morning.
This September, get ready for America's next great team. ESPN presents the FIFA Women's World Cup. Abby Wambach and Christine Lilly lead #1 ranked Team USA into China for a shot at glory. The time is now. The world is their stage. The 2007 FIFA Women's World Cup, September, live on ESPN and ESPN2.
Jorge.
Yeah.
What's going on with your hat, man?
What's wrong with my hat, man?
I mean, it doesn't look like a ball player's hat. I mean, it looks all brand new, you know?
Just come out of the box.
I'm a catcher, man. I never had to wear that thing.
You got to break this thing in. Hey, Wally. Wally. Hey, it's not what you think.
ESPN Game Plan is presented by Olivia, award-winning high-definition television.
Behind the headlines.
Hold it, hold it.
Beyond the highlights.
There may be an asterisk right next to Barry Bonds.
Beneath the surface.
Which of these guns would an athlete be drawn to?
Outside the Lines, hosted by Bob Lee. Sundays at 9:30 a.m. and weekdays at 3 on ESPN.
Early on, Baba Cami and Mike Lamb from the Dome. Idaho, after the penalty on the punt return, went 69 yards, took 4 minutes to do it. Deontay Jackson responsible for about 50 of those 69 yards. That's a good sign. You want your line to be opening the door.
Well, the more you run, the more defensively you've got to come up and compensate for that. And obviously, that will open up the passing game.
And now we'll get a look at the Vandals kickoff coverage for the first time. Vincente Rico booms it away. And the ball's dropped down to the goal line. And good coverage for the Vandals.
Oh no, they're still alive.
No, it isn't. He's still alive. That's Patrick George. George, 35 to the 40.
And I think we're going to have a face mask over there on the 20-yard line.
Now that's one of the special teams meeting where they say, see, we had him.
Wrap them up. The old wrap them up, the old fundamentals.
Boy, both these coaches are all about that. Rob Akey and Joe Novak, defensive coaches. And you see so many guys that come from defense that become head coaches, and probably the smart ones are the ones that let the offensive guys then call the plays.
I think that's the wise thing to do. I think that's true with any head coach. You've got an offensive coordinator, let him do his job. Give him the autonomy to run the offense he wants to run.
We have a hold on the return team, number 99. We have a face mask on the kicking team. The penalty offset, re-kick.
And that's a break for Idaho.
It is. The Huskies got a break on that return. Now the Vandals can work on their coverage a bit more, so they'll take them back to the sideline. Try it again. Get a look at Deontay there.
Used to hate that when I was in the coverage team, because you know how hard it is. You got to run all the way down the field.
I got to do it again.
Now you got to right back out there and do it all over again.
There's our scoring summary. Nice 4-minute possession. And this guy, he looks a little bit like his uncle, Steven Jackson of the Rams. Who was another good, I covered him at Oregon State quite a bit, another good follow the blocker guy. Steven Jackson doesn't bounce outside. He just does his job.
One of the all-time guys that was Corey Dillon when he was at the University of Washington. I can just remember watching him and thinking how he was very patient. And that's one of the hardest things for a running back to learn, because they've learned all their life. I'm going to be the fastest guy, and I'm going to go, go, go. But the mature ones, the great ones, do exactly what you alluded to. They learn the patience to follow their blocks.
Second try at this, and this is deep in the end zone and dropped again. And this time, Craig Rush goes to his teammates and says, don't run it up. 2 drops in a row for Patrick George. And NIU will start at their own 20, and that was pretty good distance on the kick by Rico.
Patrick George not having a great day on special teams. He got flagged on the punt coverage for being there too early. 2 times he drops the ball on a return. That'll be a conversation on the plane ride back.
Second possession for the Huskies, who were 3 and out the first time with the ball. Justin Anderson, the back. Britt Davis, wide right. Play action. They want Davis all the way. Good coverage. Come back to the middle. And that is complete to Matt Simon on the other side. The junior from Farmington, Illinois, his 11th catch of the year. And that's a first down. And for a second there, Nicholson looked like he was going to try to force it in there.
Yeah, he did, but Matt Simon helped him out that time. Matt Simon was in single coverage. He was split wide out left, went down. Knew that the pattern was taking too long, broke it off, came back, and it turned into a pretty easy throw for Dan Nicholson.
First down for the Huskies. Landon Cox now wide to the left. Simon in the slot. And they'll go forward with Anderson, right in the heart of the Vandal defense and those busy linebackers. And Babora is always in the middle of it, along Jarvis Raddick, who's continuing to play banged up, but it's pretty hard to get him out of the game.
We talked at the top of the show about two conferences playing together, and I think this is good for Idaho to be able to play a team that prides itself on being so physical, because they can test themselves and see if they're that type of team as well.
Tight end motion. They go left side with the extra blocker, and Anderson just gets up over the 40. It'll still be 3rd down and 4. Once again at the bottom of the pile for the Vandals, Josh Shaw, junior from Spokane.
What the Vandals are really doing well defensively right now, everybody is going to their spot. They're not over pursuing. They're not getting too far outside. They're staying in their lanes, which prevents big plays on the cutback.
Simon slots inside of Cox. They're looking right all the way. Nicholson wants it all, and he's got the man downfield. That is Matt Simon. KO won't get him, and that's a touchdown for Northern Illinois. A big 3rd down break for Matt Simon. That covers 59 yards, and NIU's on the board.
That's 2 big plays for Matt Simon in that drive. Both times he's able to find the single coverage, and Dan Nicholson identifies it. Matt Simon really helping out Dan Nicholson twice in that. And if you don't think that the receiver can help out the quarterback, that's proof in that drive.
Chris Nendick, the prolific kicker for Northern Illinois, connects. This is the guy who's going to play on Sunday. That's the 142nd extra point of his career. Timeout on the field. Northern Illinois has struck back midway through the first quarter. Vandals 7, Huskies 7. More to come.
Unbelievable.
Be all set for a full season of great college football with ESPN Game Plan. ESPN Game Plan presented by Olivia. Just $129 for a limited time. To order, call your pay-per-view provider. Games also available on ESPN360.com.
Now the students got a little help this weekend on the dads sitting down there. You always tell the dads, they're the ones who don't quite know how to cheer. Don't put their arms up in the air as much.
They don't remember how to act?
That's right. Well, it's been a while. I don't know how I'll be when my kids get into college. Like that whole face painting thing, you know, you get to our age, you're not sure if you can do that.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big face painter either.
Nendick drills it deep. Dewey Hale. Straight ahead to the 27. Dewey Hale has been a very pleasant surprise returning kicks. And he's kind of become the #1 option. You think maybe it would be a Stanley Franks or a KO. KO's your punt guy, but Dewey is just great at running straight forward.
Well, and that is the #1 thing. It's always been in my book. You know, if the guys that run sideways, backwards, all you're doing while that is transpiring is giving the coverage team more time to get further down the field. Run up the middle if you have the courage. So when you see a guy that runs the way Dewey does, just know one thing. He's courageous.
Vandals scored on their last possession, went 69 yards. Fake toss. They got Bird release. There he is out of the backfield. That'll be good for the first down. Tough guy to tackle. Running downhill, Jason Bird from Shelley. Guy who wants to play every down of every game.
Enderle using the running back as a decoy. He thinks that Deontay Jackson's going to come up. You're going to see a nice play fake. Everybody gets sucked in, and then he rolls around on the boot. And look at that. Gets himself set, throws the ball to Jason Bird. First down.
A good start for the Vandals on this drive. At the 37, there's Bird straight forward into the secondary and gets about 9.5 on first down. And that's your push up front following Adam Corby, who snaps that ball by a potty.
Now Jason Bird's got to be the one who's winded. It's 2 big plays for him right in a row.
Well, this is what they want, to give Jackson a break. So we can give Bird at least a series here.
Get more than that if he keeps playing the way he's playing.
2nd and 1. First down and more. And they're just getting a great push off the snap. And the guy in the middle, Adam Kibbie, who has gone through a couple of different coaching changes now.
Right.
Candidate for the Remington Award. Great buddies with another very good center, Kyle Devan at Oregon State. You get those two together, and that is a laugh riot.
Well, they're a special breed, centers. Got to be smart, got to be tough, quick.
Eddie Williams motion, now he's a blocker. Good fake, Komar open to the 30 once more. First down Vandals. Max Komar somehow is always open.
Really enjoying what's going on right now and the way that Steve Axman is mixing things up offensively. He's been running inside, running outside, and now it's another fake, a play that worked before, and you come over to this side, wide open receiver. You give your quarterback a lot of opportunities as well as your receivers, and that's 3 nice plays right in a row.
A wide slot, but it's Bird again. Just running over guys. Josh Allen just got a shoulder on him. And Bird is running up the yard so far.
And what a nice changeup. You know, different style, obviously, than Deontay Jackson. Jason Bird, not going to be a guy that is going to move around a lot. He's not going to be cutting back a lot. He's going to go straight at you, but he's got a good pad level. Not afraid to mix it up in there.
Averaging 8 yards a carry right now. Allen showing some blitz for the Huskies. Bird, big hole, inside the 10, first and goal Vandals.
Oh, good flip at the end, too. And you hope he's okay.
A little degree of difficulty there, and he's going to trot off. Here comes Deontay back in, and a big round of applause for the hard-working Bird.
Yeah, well, look at the zone block inside here, and then on the backside, there's a seal, and Bird just, all you got to do is run at the goal line. It looks like he's hit right there in the shin, and probably more painful than anything else.
As Chris Anderson finishing with the seal block. It's first and goal at the 8. Jackson back in the game. Quick toss. Oh, it's picked inside the 10. And this one may go all the way. Hang the ball out there. There are no flags. And we talked about turnovers being a big difference. This one for NIU goes back for 6. Chase Carter, the JC transfer from Kansas.
Both Chase Carter and Melvin Rice are corners that are able to press you, and you've got to be aware of that. You hate to see that. You have a great series. You're having your way with the defense, and a mistake like that is a pick 6 the other way.
Nendick, extra point. It's good. And NIU takes the lead on the road. The Huskies don't recruit a lot of JCs, but they needed a corner this year, so they went to Coffeyville and grabbed Chase Carter. And it pays off against the Vandals.
Things you love about football. Contact. Contact. Accuracy. Accuracy. Teamwork. Teamwork. You're a fan. You just don't know it yet. Watch MLS Primetime Thursday nights on ESPN2, presented by Adidas.
How long have you been up there?
I don't know, I think a while.
You all right, Mike?
ESPN Ultimate NASCAR. Own all 4 volumes on DVD now. The greatest drivers.
There's the checkered flag for Allen.
The fastest cars. The biggest moments. Get under the hood with these fully loaded DVDs. Experience life at 200 miles per hour. ESPN Ultimate NASCAR. Own all 4 volumes on DVD now.
There's the only JC transfer on this Northern Illinois roster. Chase Carter takes it all the way back. He's made a lot of tackles already this year. That's usually a bad sign when your DBs have to make plays, but he comes up big there. They got him in the spring, got to know the system, and he's grabbed that starting job. So they make the Vandals pay after a nice drive on the ground, and all of a sudden Idaho's down 14-7. 3 minutes and change left in the first quarter.
A lot of things went wrong on that play that Chase Carter picked off. A lot of things.
Dewey in the end zone.
It is action-packed when he returns that ball, isn't it?
He's coming at full speed.
That's a guy with a little more regard for his own well-being. You gotta love that. Oh.
I mean, the wedge guy's got to work. He's right into their back.
I wouldn't want any part of that.
Damn, Dewey, don't hit me in the back with that helmet.
I think I'd be breaking down about the 45.
Well, the Vandals had a lot of success on that last possession. They averaged 10 yards a rush.
Which would tell us, keep doing it.
The movement, but no flag. Deontay breaks a tackle. Gets forward for a couple of yards on first down.
You've got to be concerned about how your offense is going to take that and how they're going to react to it. In particular, how is Nathan Enderle going to react to that? Because it's no sin to throw an interception, but really what's very telling is how does a quarterback that pick six?
Now they're keeping it on the ground so far.
It's close, and you'll see some of the plays now. They're going to pick up 1 yard or 2 yards. They'll probably start to open up a little bit more and more. In the games that I've watched Deontay Jackson is, and he's gotten a little better at finishing the more the game goes on.
Double slot with Komar and Williams inside of Maury's shot. Enderle, middle. Komar, first down. Well, NIU can't feel bad because Washington State couldn't cover Max Komar last week either.
And it's not like he's doing anything crazy. Max Komar just coming on a little dig route there.
Takes you back a little bit to Mike Hass at Oregon State, who's with the Bears, who was too slow, too small. Didn't have any skill, just caught everything and got open a lot.
Isn't that really the bottom line?
And for those of us that grew up with Fred Blitnikoff, throws it to the spot to Komar. We'll check that to Lumbala out of the backfield. It's about as far downfield as you'll see Raleigh get in a game. But all these H tight end guys have to be flexible in this offense.
Well, and I think that's the real beauty of it. The fact that you've got guys who can line up in too tight and you try to counter that and then they go in motion and turn into an H-back. It's a real luxury for Coach Axman to have those guys.
First down from the 40 of NIU. Final minute of the first quarter. Jackson probably shouldn't have cut back that time.
But it's been so good to him coming up to this point. The cutback has been there because of the pursuit. And as the game progresses, I mean, that is the chess match that goes on between offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. And in this scenario, Northern Illinois taking it easy on some of the pursuit that they had early in the game.
The Northern Illinois Brain Trust talking to coordinator Denny Dornbus down on the field. Jackson trying to stretch it, but good pursuit that time. And gets nothing. That's John Trenchitella, a sophomore from Addison, Illinois. And just to the right there with the glasses, that's Steve Axman, the veteran offensive coordinator, was the head coach at Northern Arizona when Rob Akey had his first coordinator position working for him.
Now it's time for payback.
And the first quarter comes to an end. Vandals turn it over, give up 6, but are on the move. The Huskies and the Vandals, 15 minutes in the books as Idaho crosses into NIU territory. 15 minutes down at the Kibbie Dome. Our score, Northern Illinois 14, Idaho 7. Let's break for our local stations on the Go Vandals television network.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
The chase for the Nextel Cup Series championship is on ABC.
Sometimes the way out.
This is everything to me.
Is the way in.
Boxing is my life, is what I love.
On an all-new season of The Contender, the road will travel through 16 dreams.
I really can't be stopped.
10 weeks.
This is pretty much make it or break it. Every round counts.
One shot.
I'll do whatever it takes. I'm not planning on losing.
The Contender.
You know, an empty formation.
Third down for Idaho. Get a look at our University of Idaho scoreboard. Ball's tipped away from Komar. And decision time for midfield. Out of the WAC action, of course, tonight. Top 10, LSU taking care of business. Florida, a little battle with Mississippi.
Tim Tebow looked fabulous, though. Took care of it.
West Virginia, Arizona, Cal. Out of the Pac-10 action is tonight.
Cougars in Los Angeles.
Look at that, Michigan. Signs of life against Penn State. Bengals at home. No points yet against Eastern. Fourth down. Vandals will go for it. From the 41. Enderle steps away from pressure. English on the backside. Man in the end zone. Back. Shaw. Just out of bounds. Maury Shaw, who made that outstanding catch against the Cougs last week. Great presence of mind keeping the toe down with the defender on his back. That time, the laws of physics were not repealed, and momentum took him out of the end zone.
Yeah, and I know there are going to be fans that question, you know, it's fourth and a bunch, and why do you do that? And you have to figure out, you know, what is a punt going to net you? Probably 10 yards. Can you make a field goal from that distance? Probably not. So that's a spot where some really big things can happen if you're successful. You can really boost the confidence of your offense, and if you don't make it, you didn't really hurt yourself that badly.
And you take about 2% off that pass. Shaw catches it for the 6. That is a pretty smart call. Play action on first down. Nicholson caught underneath. Kronikic. We're going to go back to the end zone and get a look at Maury Shaw, see how close this was.
Oh, it's close. You know, it would have to be a circus type catch. And the time and
See, just the momentum. His feet were there.
You know, that coaching axiom, game of inches, that's what they talk about right there.
We get the tight end involved, and the Huskies now already back in Vandal territory. Anderson a chance to cut back to the 41.
Now you're not trying to be too spectacular. You're up by a touchdown. See what your offensive line can do against the Vandals defensive line. If you're the Huskies, try to play that same brand of physical ball that the Vandals have been bringing at you.
Anderson only 10 yards on 5 carries so far. That was his longest run of the day. Gets it late. Runs around Vobora into the secondary. And it's off to the races. Shiloh Kale saving tackle at the 10. And now Justin Anderson warming it up a little bit. Got to the outside. And a big run down into the red zone. David Vobora had a pretty good shot at him, and he doesn't miss a lot of guys.
Yeah, Justin Anderson, he's a very physical player, so you've got to tackle him, you got to wrap him up, but he's also got that speed, and on the cutback there, you're anticipating to get him, and finally, KO at the end with the angle, runs downhill and saves the touchdown.
From the 10. It is 1st and goal. Foster Spann, who's in the game now. Down to the 5. Chad Spann, true freshman from North Central in Indianapolis. A walk-on who was so good, he pretty much won the scholarship in between the start of camp and the start of the season. That doesn't happen very much.
Unless the coach really sees something that he thinks is exemplary and he wants to reward that. Did I see a power sweep there?
Almost. Well, they really need the second back with Montel Clanton done for the year. They thought they were going to have a 2-back attack with Anderson and Clanton. Going for the back of the end zone. Incomplete, late flag, and it did appear that Britt Davis might have been detained.
Well, let's not argue semantics.
Somebody asked him for directions.
All right, detained then, if that's how you want to say it. Now that puts the Vandals defense in a tough spot now.
Pass interference, number 6 of the defense. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line, 1st down.
Stanley Frank's obviously a stalwart in this defense. 9 interceptions last year, has 1 already this season, but a little too much contact in the end zone. And now 1st and goal.
Extra tight end to the right. They go left with Anderson and nothing. And Blevins right there.
You go back to that end of the field in the 1st quarter when the Vandals were driving, seemingly going to go in here, and then they have the pick 6 that goes the other way, and how it can change the complexion of what you're going to do. Now you're down 14-7. If the Huskies get it in here, you're going to have to play catch up.
Heavy to the left side. Davis, the one wide out. Davis in the back. He got it. Touchdown, NIU. Britt Davis.
Well, Britt Davis is their 2nd leading receiver. He comes off of the weak side of that formation. Dan Nicholson looking back, patient. Does what he has been trying to do.
Minden to make it 21. He does. So things change after that interception as NIU puts another one in the end zone. 12 minutes left before the half. It's now Northern Illinois 21, Idaho 7.
Guy's a proven veteran and a big game pitcher. He says he tweaked his back.
Northern Illinois up 2 touchdowns now, 12 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter. And the go-to guy on that offense when the ball's in the air has almost always been Britt Davis. Take a look at him in the back of the end zone.
No, just enough time to throw it. You've got to drop it in over one defender in front of yet another, and Britt Davis, the number 2 receiver, younger brother
of
Brandon Davis, the tight end.
The guys out of Broadview, Riverside High School.
So we've got a player that's down at the 10-yard line that they've been attending to throughout the break. And because he's been surrounded by the medical staff, I have not been able to see who it is.
Apparently it is a cheerleader.
Okay.
And but same as a player, you give it proper attention, and so it is so close to the field. We will take our time to make sure everything is being handled safely. I want to welcome all the folks watching us on the Go Vandals Network. Game being seen throughout Idaho, Eastern Washington, There are fine stations on the Go Vandals network this year. We'll be back with you from San Jose State on the 6th and in Reno on the 27th against Nevada. Also welcome our viewers on Comcast Local in Spokane, DeKalb and Sycamore, Illinois, Time Warner Cable in Coeur d'Alene, and many of you seeing this later on Saturday on Comcast Sportsnet Chicago, which is the home of Northern Illinois football. Great to have you all with us from the Palouse. Have a cheerleader walks off under her own power, and that's always good. See what the Vandals can do now to get things started. After Northern Illinois grabs momentum, boy, you said it a moment ago, you're at the 5, you're going to go in and score. You get a pick 6, and then momentum goes the other way quickly.
And in college football, you are dealing with young players, and of course they are very prone to emotion, and that's why you see these swings in momentum the way that you do in college football. And the job of the Vandal staff right now is just to everybody, hey, take it easy, not a big deal. We'll get a touchdown here, we'll get right back in this thing, and we'll be fine. But as we all know, that's easier said than done when you're dealing with 18, 19, and 20-year-old football players.
I'll tell you, so far, I've really liked the demeanor of this team under Rob Akey. Obviously playing a USC team, falling behind, but not slipping into the personal fouls, taking it seriously. They got the late touchdown in that game from Bird against Washington State, where I think they really just ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. They kept playing.
I think that's a fair assessment, but I said this to Coach Akey when I talked to him. I was very impressed with the way the team played against USC because they weren't too high, they weren't too low. They were not intimidated. We talked about Fresno State. When they lost to USC, they put all their eggs in one basket, and they still really haven't recovered from that. So I thought Coach Akey did a very good job, had the team very even-keeled, ready to play, not worried about playing the #1 team in the Coliseum in LA.
Now, in watching Fresno State at Oregon last week, you know, they give up a touchdown and a turnover, get behind quickly 14-0, and they kind of pulled their horns in offensively. There's down. There's Dante making a miss. Got 4 where he should have had none.
If you've got a physical bunch up front and they can put everything together, we talked a lot about Adam Corby, Billy Bates at the 1 tackle, Chris Anderson at the other tackle, and if you can be physical and start to wear down the defense, then those plays start to open up. The time of possession obviously not indicative of the score on the board.
It just means the Vandals have run the ball. End zone. Bird is in the game. It's about 3 on 2nd down.
Jason Burden, he's unremarkable with his moves, but nonetheless he's always going forward. And if he can just hold on to the football and make sure that he doesn't turn it over, I think he can be a very productive part of this Vandal offense.
And that is why he hasn't played more the last couple weeks. Had a little bit of fumbleitis. He's working on it. 3rd and 4, extra blocker. Ball to the left, back to the middle, too high. Trying to get Eddie Williams, who got up in the air against double coverage. And the safety, Ryder, a little slow getting up. Vandals will have to give it right back.
Nathan Enderle, that time they roll the pocket to the left side. He goes to his left, and he's looking for Eddie Williams. And it's hard sometimes to get your feet set, but Eddie was really his only receiver that looked to be open. And you got to take a shot on 3rd down.
Nice snap, but Conley gets it away. And good coverage, no return from the 29-yard line. That's where the Huskies start with 10:49 to go in the first half and a 2-touchdown lead for Northern Illinois.
So obviously this is going to be a big defensive set for the Vandals. They are going to have to keep this thing manageable, keep it intact.
That's where the Huskies will start from when we return.
Unbelievable.
What's that?
These athletes, some of the things they demand. Who do these guys think they are?
Lavender scented candles, organic fat-free tofu burgers, an autographed poster of Nancy Kerrigan.
Those aren't demands. Those are necessities. There's a difference.
What makes them different makes them great. Mike and Mike in the morning.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. All season long on ABC and ABC HD. College football lives here on ESPN. And to see it all, you need the ESPN.
Huskies ready to go from their own 29 after holding Idaho to a 3-and-out. And they come out with a trips. Getting a time. Now here comes the pressure. Little lob pass. Just caught inbounds at the 31-yard line. Nice reach and some good work with the feet by Greg Turner.
Dan Nicholson pressured at the end there, but really not the pass rush you're going to need to have to be successful against this Huskies offense. Don't let him feel comfortable. Don't give him that time to improvise on the run.
And I wonder, they come out in trips, and does that freeze the defense for a second? They haven't seen it the whole game.
I think so.
Idaho trying to bring everyone here on second down, and they plug the gaps. Jonah Sadaraka with a lot of help. Jardis bouncing around.
Yeah, but the big fellow was the one that got the penetration there. That just looks like a football player from behind, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. 6'2", 250 pounds.
A chiseled 250.
Out of that Rogers High School in Puyallup. She had a couple runs of a state championship in the 80s. Now they're back with a vengeance. Probably the best league in the state in Washington. Oh, pressure there, and Nicholson incomplete. Now the Vandal defense does get it back.
Boy, and almost an opportunity for Brandon Ogletree to pick that thing off. Brandon coming off of being the Western Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week. Very close to being in a spot to pick that ball off. And then if you do get that, you're thinking turnabout is fair play.
See if Shiloh Kao can get something going here. Standing at his own 27. Averaging 9 yards of return this year. Good punt by Ditbanner. All the way back to his 8. And the coverage is there. Kao slips one tackle, but only up to the 23. And downfield, right in the middle, taking a good shot at him and almost got him with the ankles, is Jake Kaufman, the former Marine defensive end.
Corporal Kaufman, they call him. Served his tour in Iraq, and now he's covering punts for the Huskies. I love that return by Kao, and I'll tell you why. When it's over your head and you've got to turn, that's a really hard thing to do, to go back and get that. Not only did he get that, gather himself, he got back out past the 20, and that was a very, very nice job on special teams.
Well, Kao thought he was going to be a big-time offensive player in high school, even transferred schools to get to a place he might play more. On the outside for the Vandals, that ball is complete. Brown, redshirt freshman from Florida, out of bounds of a 34. Close to a first down. He's got it.
Nathan Enderle doing the rollout to the left, and finds Steve Brown, who has not been a big-time target for him to this point in this offense, but yet one more weapon at his disposal.
Only his 3rd catch of the year for the former option quarterback. Into the wing. Over the rusher. Too far for Eric Greenwood, a lanky freshman from Edmonds, Washington.
I understand taking shots down the field, and I know why you want to do it as an offense and why you call the play, but when the player is covered and when the defender probably has better position, you might be better off eating that ball. You might be better off doing some other things with it, like throwing it away rather than putting it up where somebody can pick it off.
Second and 10. Williams shuffles to his blocker spot. Jackson will not get far.
And it's interesting to me at this point in the game, the fact that the Huskies are coming off the blocks a little better than they were earlier in the game. Usually it's the other way around. As the game progresses, it's a little bit harder for you to get off of those blocks, and the offensive line of the Vandals probably need to just sustain it a little bit longer, maintain that contact.
Well, they've had some long series. Into the middle drop by Eddie. And again, good pressure coming. Ed Jackson on the last play.
Eddie Williams, the second leading receiver in this Vandal offense. One that I'm sure he'd like to have back. One that's hard to explain to the quarterback when it's in your hands and you don't come up with it.
TJ Conley again. Flags as he gets it away.
What do we have there? I didn't see anything wrong with that play. Leave it to the officials.
Dead ball. False start. Number 30 on the offense. Penalty remains 4th down.
Well, somebody moved a little bit.
Undiscernible to the naked eye. They must have some technology that we don't know about.
Motion detectors.
It must be. I did not see that. Not saying it didn't happen.
Turner ready for this at his own 24. And it's blocked into the end zone. Could be a touch. And it is. NIU, 2 big plays, netting 2 touchdowns. On the block, Craig Rush. On the recovery, Jeff Fontana.
Matt Simon in there as well. Matt Simon's had a big day today. And the Vandals right now are trying to think to themselves, what happened? 2 plays, 2 mistakes, and they turned into 14 points for the Huskies.
Nindick. Almost always automatic. And after a long trip to DeKalb, to Chicago, to Lewiston, to Moscow, Northern Illinois leading midway through the second quarter. Huskies 28, Vandals 7 on the Go Vandals television network.
Things you love about football. Contact. Contact. Accuracy. Accuracy. Teamwork. Teamwork. You're a fan. You just don't know it yet. Watch MLS Primetime Thursday nights on ESPN2. Presented by Adidas.
How long's you been up there? I don't know. I think a while.
You all right, Mike?
ESPN Ultimate NASCAR. Own all 4 volumes on DVD now. The greatest drivers.
There's the checkered flag for Allen.
The fastest cars. The biggest moments. Get under the hood with these fully loaded DVDs. Experience life at 200 miles per hour. ESPN Ultimate NASCAR. Own all 4 volumes on DVD now.
Good result so far for the visitors, 28-7. Take another look at Matt Simon, who does get credit for the block. Watch 99. Using the speed. And then a ball rolling around in the end zone. You never know what's going to happen. A good presence of mind by Jeff Fontana, the redshirt sophomore. We're seeing a lot of time at safety now.
And that's why you want to make sure that you block on special teams from the inside out. And make sure that an inside man does not have a clear shot at that, because when they do, you have a direct line to the punter. That's what's going to happen. And so Matt Simon having a big day. A touchdown offensively, a special teams play. They start writing songs about you when you have days like that.
And for those of you watching at home in Illinois, I'll explain this in a second. Hail out to the 20. And you're looking at some of these numbers. on the Huskies and wondering why they've changed numbers this week. First game with the road uniforms, and nobody had time to check the sizes, and so that is why Justin Anderson not wearing his traditional 21.
Yeah.
21 doesn't fit him. That was all discovered about, what, 6 a.m. this morning?
They got to be too big. I mean, see, they're too small. You got to get into it.
You like that one?
Yeah, well, nobody can grab you if they're too tight. So if they're too loose, that's when you don't want to wear a jersey.
Vandals need to establish momentum here from the 20. Start with Deontay. Gets a few on first down. And I would say already this NIU defense is making some pretty good adjustments.
Yeah, they are. And Eddie Williams has got to maintain that block just a little bit longer, because if you're going to cut this back and if you're going to go weak side, it's always going to be incumbent upon the receiver over there or the H-back or the tight end that's on that weak side to seal it off.
Comar's the slot man. They throw to the other side. Complete. First down, Vandals out over the 35-yard line, and they get Eddie Williams involved. Junior from San Mateo, California.
See, and that's a way to get him right back in it. Come back to him. You cannot be afraid if you're going to run the slant, because here it is. The safety's always going to be waiting for you. You pick up the first down, but you also pick up the punishment.
Another Century 21 replay. Comar now ganged up with Shaw on the outside left. First down from the 39. Under trouble from behind. Wisely hangs on to the football. English applying pressure.
And Alex, Larry English has already got 1 sack in this game. A lot of quarterbacks will panic here because you feel as though you're getting the pressure, and there is really no sin in eating the football. Rather than trying to force it, make a play down the field, come up with something, and making a mistake, just eat it. And that is the 3rd sack on the year, the 2nd sack in this game for Larry English.
Corey Hansen will put it away. 2nd and 14, English got a run, and now he will just throw it away. One time the heat coming from John Hopkins, true freshman from St. Louis. DJ Perkle, true freshman, Frankfort, Illinois.
Bobby, remember the conversation we were having about not throwing the ball down the field when somebody was covered, and I said I wasn't happy about that. If I had to guess, I would guess that Steve Axman got on the headphones with Nathan Enderle and said, hey, look, if it's not there, stop pressing it, because he was obviously pressing it in the first part of this game.
3rd down. Too much downfield. That was Stephen Brown on the far side, and the Vandals will punt it away.
Husky safety's doing a nice job. They have not been fooled to this point in the game. Coming over the top. Good coverage by the corners, and I think the luxury that the Husky defense has is they have very good corners who can play with a man and can press you, and that makes it awfully easy to do whatever you want to with your safeties over the top.
Conway getting some serious height in the dome. Turner says, I'll just keep it right here. And a familiar spot for Northern Illinois at their own 27-yard line with 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Got to be a discussion here with the Idaho Vandals and where they want to go in this season and what they want to do right now.
Rob Akey hosts his radio show live and in person every week from the Palace Empire Mall in Moscow. 6 to 7 on Wednesdays. You can hear it on many Vandals radio network stations and online at govandals.com. And after the show, Rob buys everybody an Orange Julius.
I'm sure that's the case. He looks very generous.
I am making that up.
Of course.
But I bet if you asked Nice, he would.
Wow, that's a power run right there.
Justin Anderson.
In the unfamiliar 43 jersey. There's the coach, always coaching. High energy coach usually translates to a high energy team. Right now, I think they're a little curious as to what happened, how the momentum swung so fast.
Well, we've talked about the Huskies seeming making some adjustments. The Vandals need to start thinking about adjusting against that running game. Anderson again. Great push in the middle. Big 77, Tim Mayerbach. Driving his man backwards. A left guard, Chicago kid.
And that's what we talked about at the top of the show. The fact that the Huskies have had this tradition of being a physical football team, of playing that brand of football. And can you answer that if you're the Vandals front? Is that the type of team that you're going to be? Because understand, these players have been through a lot of coaches and a lot of philosophies, and I think we're aware of what Coach Akey's philosophy is.
Second and short, Turner in the slot. Movement. And that big young man we just talked about, Mayerbach, jumped the gun.
Take the bad with the good. Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, they got a lot of young guys having to play right now because of attrition and injuries.
Dead ball. False start. Number 77 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
There are not a lot of seniors either side of the ball starting for Northern Illinois.
Chris Acevedo is the tackle on the left side. You'd like to have a young guy next to an older guy, kind of keep him calm, helping him play within himself.
And the guy that's really stepped up is Adamski, the center, who's become a real leader. Good penetration in the backfield, and they stop number 43, Andrew Blevins.
You got to take some chances from time to time, and if you're looking for somebody to make a play, and they just have been pounding. Now it's time to run a stunt, go inside. You guessed right, and you came up big.
Well, he's a quick guy. He's a linebacker by trade, but they moved him to the butt for this game. So if anybody's going to pull that off, he's going to have the quicks to get to the gap. Third and a bunch. Kibbie Dome crowd aroused. Thought we might see some blitz with play action. We don't. The pressure's from the outside. And Nicholson goes down as he gets it away at the last second. Taylor Rust bringing the heat. And that gets Rob Akey excited.
Nice job of sniffing out that screen. You've got third and long. You're thinking you're going to let the penetration come here. You let everybody come in, invite them in, and they don't bite. They don't go for it. Good job by Dan Nicholson to just get rid of the ball there because the Vandals defense had sniffed it out.
With a bit of pressure, let's see what KO can do. Driven backwards again. Same spot as last time. The 9 finds his blockers. All the way out to the 27. Shiloh KO loves to have the football in his hands, and this is his chance to make things happen for the Vandals on kicks.
You usually use the term live body when you're talking about somebody that plays basketball, but you're right, he does come to life there. It's something that he obviously wants to do, and I love his style. One of the toughest things to do is to go back and return a kick, and you've seen a couple of very good punts over the head of Shiloh, and he is able to come up with it, and not only come up with it, but nice returns both times.
From the 22, 4:11 to play in the half. Vandals have all their timeouts. And now you're just thinking of getting one touch back. Big pressure, ball's knocked out to the end zone. Larry English, touchdown, Northern Illinois.
Wow.
He does it all, knocks it loose and picks it up.
That's almost hard to believe what has happened on 3 plays. Talk about big plays, and here comes Larry English again. He has been able to get in the face of the quarterback, and I'm not so sure Nathan wasn't throwing the ball there, but nonetheless, Larry English comes back, gets the ball, shows it to the referee, and that's when he signals touchdown. And that's exactly what Coach Akey is talking about. Was he throwing the football there? Was that a fumble? If we see the replay again, I really thought that the ball was starting forward. Let's take a look. He's back.
Watch the arm. Yeah, he's pulling it back.
Oh, that's close. That's close.
I think the question is always, if he's pulling it back, is he maybe going to pull it down?
No, I thought it was cocked, and I thought it was starting to come forward. So, maybe we'll see. I know that.
By the offense.
Yeah.
So we do have.
And why not?
And you should challenge.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge game. If they get this, it's effectively putting the game away, barring some sort of a miracle in the second half. So that's the prudent thing to do, even if it's close, if it's iffy. When I saw it with the naked eye, I thought that Nathan had started his arm forward, and we'll get yet another look at it here.
From behind.
See, I'm seeing it going forward. You're not seeing that.
I'm seeing it cocked, and maybe he pulls it down.
Yeah. This is the first football game I've ever seen, so I'd have to defer.
Oh, please. Well, it didn't take long for him to figure it out. Here comes the decision.
I thought he was throwing it.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed.
Huh?
Touchdown.
Larry English, one of the top sack men in the history of the NIU program, does even better that time, knocks it out. And this is a big turnaround for the Huskies. Their history of giving up the big plays the last couple of weeks. They have made 3 very big ones and turned all of them immediately into touchdowns.
Yeah, well, now obviously you don't have to try to make big plays. You can be very conservative on offense. You can be very conservative on defense when you get this type of a lead. And you know, the Vandals have played very good football, except for 3 gigantic plays, and they just happen to all lead to scores. So if you're going to spot somebody 21 points on 3 plays, you find yourself in this predicament, getting ready to go down 35-7. But I still agree that was the right thing to do. You've got to challenge that.
Yes.
It's a turning point in the game.
Kick. Good. It is 35-7 for Northern Illinois. Let's break for our local stations on the Go Vandals television network. Husky fans, you're liking this number, 35-7. Vandals have had 3 bad breaks, all turned into touchdowns. Hale out of the end zone. One gap to run through. He's got a defender riding on his back all the way out to the 28-yard line. Tackle finally made for Northern Illinois by Landon Cox. And the Vandals start from there, looking to generate some offense with less than 4 minutes to play in the half. And I think it's incumbent to keep doing what you're doing, try to put it in the end zone, create something.
I think it's incumbent to keep playing very hard. You know, we talked earlier about how well I thought Rob Akey handled taking the team down to Los Angeles, how well he's handled everything up to this point. And the one thing you don't want to see your guys play less than at full speed.
Endley going to throw on first down, hit from behind. Throws a worm burner. Guess who's there again? English. Along with Melvin Rice.
May have to start chipping on Larry English because he is constantly in the backfield. He is constantly putting pressure on the backside of Nathan Enderle, and that does not help the confidence of a quarterback.
Second and 10.
That's the way you finish.
Jorvik, the sophomore from Crook County, Oregon.
Peter, the tight end, coming out there and from his spot, but you like guys that finish up. Run into the tackler. If you can, run him over, but if you can't, run into him.
And then really pressured again and hit again. That time Ed Jackson got a body on him as he threw the ball.
I'm very impressed with this defensive front of the Huskies. And it's not obviously just Larry English, although he has had the most productive day. Ed Jackson, the big fella in there. Just a redshirt freshman, if you can believe that. But 90 on the helmet, 92 on the jersey. Another guy from the Jersey Gate scandal.
He must have got a real little one. Too little, even for a lineman. That time for Enderle. But too much for Eddie Williams. Well, both these conferences, I think, are similar in that they can get some pretty good players. I mean, WAC is getting Pac-10 guys. MAC gets Big Ten guys.
Right.
And Northern does a great job of recruiting Chicago.
Sure. And I think that that's a fair assessment. These programs both have facilities that they don't have to kind of try to hide from anybody. If you bring a player in here, I think they're going to be impressed by what they see. Joe Novak been doing it for so long.
Third down. Enderle steps up nicely. Got a man. Some late help defensively. Bradley Pruitt getting over from the safety spot breaks that up.
Well, we're going to throw the ball down the field, it looks like. Yeah, you always you think of that as a lineman, and you're saying to yourself, all right, I've just got to protect here. And you'd be surprised that actually does wear down a defense. Conversely, if you're the Huskies, you're thinking, well, you know, we're going to get in 3 across, and you're going to have to throw it behind us. And we're not going to let you. That's what I talked about. You can be very conservative on defense.
Turner runs by a man, 2, 3, out to the 28. Huskies in a very familiar spot with 3 minutes left in the first half.
Have all their possessions started at the 27 or 28?
Right around there.
Yeah, there's about a 2-yard area.
We got the Northwest Dodge Dealers halftime report coming up, including our Vandal Hall of Fame moment. Visit with Athletic Director Rob Spear and U of I President Tim White. First down, Huskies. Anderson, been a busy boy.
And you can anticipate, if you're a Huskies fan, that you're going to see a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of running the football. When you have that type of a lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock moving, continue to be physical up front, and then the whole thing snowballs. You get physical, wear down the defense, keep the clock moving, time of possession, everything starts to tilt in your favor.
12 carries for Anderson. He's worked hard, only about 60 yards. He just bowls his way up over the 35. He does it the hard way.
And I think that's part of what separates him. You know, he's a guy that has a lot of speed, but he can be very physical as well. And it's that combination that makes you a very good running back and hard to bring down.
Vandals take a timeout here on 3rd down and short. And this is one of those times you do not want to allow any more points. A chance for a reset for the Idaho D.
Now, I'll bet you an icy Justin Anderson gets the ball again here.
You think? 3rd and short?
Yeah, I do. And I think if they pick that up, he's going to see it yet again. And that's fine. It's an opportunity for you as an offense to try to bring everybody together, try to hone that a little bit. And because you're going to get in a game sometime during the season when MAC conference play starts, when you're going to have that type of a drive at the end of a game to win it.
Big push up the middle. Anderson tries the right side, has the first down. Blevins not happy coming out of the bottom of that.
Little pushing going on afterwards.
That's the finger biting, eye poking part of the game right there.
No need for that. We can all get along here. First down for the Huskies.
You have a good pile story? Strangest thing you ever noticed in the bottom of a pile? Because I know you were in the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, no, I've been in a few of those, and yeah, you know, I had a couple guys kick me, and they were setting me up. They kick me and I kick back. They're going, look, look. I used to like to jump on the pile.
First down. And it is Anderson again. I think you could call this offense.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a fairly simplistic approach to the game of football. And now the Vandals are going to have to, guard against getting lulled into that all the time. The game plan coming into this looks to me as though you're going to have 2 tight ends with the Huskies, and you were going to run it until somebody came up and tried to stop the run, and then they were going to go deep, and that was working okay. It's the 3 big plays that led to 21 points that has put you in this position.
Second down. Anderson just in time. Gets coupled to the 45. Big old 65 coming out of the bottom of that. Joyce Nanye-Boagu.
He's been a kind of a nasty guy out there. A lot of pushing. I don't mind that.
And the Vandals take another timeout with 58 seconds left in the half. As we talk to Athletic Director Rob Spear, at halftime we'll be talking about the future of this building. Some great renovations planned for the Kibbie Dome. An engineering marvel in the 70s, and as engineering has progressed, they found new ways to create more space inside. For a long time, it was thought you couldn't do anything with the ends of this building. But time has marched on, and there's going to be some beautiful space for fans in the next couple of years, and Rob will talk to us about that at the half.
Well, I'm glad I got to see it in its original incarnation, because you always hear about the Kibbie Dome. My first visit here, very impressive. Very impressed with the facilities here at the University of Idaho. And
3rd and 6. Vandal students rise as 1. Run to the outside with Spann, and that will not be good for a first down. Jardis gets to the outside along with Brandon Ogletree. Boy, first time we've mentioned Ogletree in this game. The senior from Georgia, very active, but NIU seems to put a body on him throughout this game.
Chad Spann, just the freshman, has averaged over 6 yards a carry up to this point, and now 4th down for the Vandals. And I guess that's the timeout you want to have. So, hey, you got to get a stop here. Now, I'm going to be interested to see what the approach is here of Coach Akey and Coach Axman offensively at the end of this first half.
We have no timeouts, less than a minute. You take the time to run the 1-minute drill. KO has to go into the end zone.
That's a mistake, but we'll see.
Gets a break there. Maybe not. Midfield. Just the putter. 100 yards for Shiloh KO.
Oh. Great job. Don't ever do it again.
And you've talked about him doing a good job retreating to get that ball, but that's not a place you normally ask your retreat guy to retreat to. Well, we started to tell the story earlier. You know, Shiloh's at Woodinville High School. They're running the wing, and he's a wing guy, so he never got to touch the ball.
You know, you're in your own end zone. You're taught to, if it's over your head and you're standing on the 10, you just let that thing go. And I'm sure he says, oh my gosh, I'm in the end zone. I better take this thing all the way, or coach is going to be on me for the rest of my life. And then you're thinking to yourself, if a punter runs me down, I'll never, ever live that down with my teammates. So I know there was a lot going through Shiloh's mind on that return. But boy, is that a big play right at the half, and you love going into the locker room with something a little more positive to talk about. And for Charlotte Cahill, he did bail himself out, and who knows, he might help to bail his team out.
I like seeing Dittbender trying to make that tackle. He hurt himself in the Iowa game making a tackle. So here's a kicker who's already tasted a little blood this year, and he's at it again.
I don't think he would have won that matchup. I'm thinking Charlotte Cahill would have probably figured out a way. A straight arm. You start running out of gas, though.
Well, 100 yards, that would equal the school record forever. This isn't Canada. Let's see how the Vandals can get back and cover, and they do. Stopping Matt Simon out at the 25-yard line with 28 seconds left. Well, that stops the bleeding. And after 3 big plays turned in by NIU in the half, that's a breath of fresh air for Vandal fans.
Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, and that's, you know, we've seen 4 very big plays in this game. 3 of them have gone the way of the Huskies, and 1 just went the way of the Idaho Vandals. And, you know, star players, they do that. Shiloh Cahill, obviously a star player, obviously comes up with big plays.
NIU showing us what they're going to do. They get into victory formation to kill the clock here at the end of the half. And Joe Novak's gang very happy with what they've accomplished so far, and they do not want to run another play.
Joe very adamant about that.
1,700 miles, 2 time zones. It's a good start for the team from DeKalb. Halftime at the Kibbie Dome. The Northern Illinois Huskies 35, the Idaho Vandals 14. The Northwest Dodge Dealers halftime report coming up on the Go Vandals television network.
ESPN Game Plan is presented by Olivia, award-winning high-definition television.
The great thing about baseball is how great it is to talk about baseball.
I just love watching them on the rubber.
Up-to-the-minute highlights, breakdown, and spirited commentary.
When you're prepared like that, you're a winning player.
Baseball Tonight, every night on ESPN.
First, they were the pajamas your uncle got you when you were born. After that, it was your first glove. Your first real glove. Next, it was sitting in the kitchen asking your dad about the designated hitter. But then you saw what is to this day the bluest sky and the greenest grass you could ever see. And that's when it really started.
Your highlights tonight were perfect.
Hey, guys.
Hey, David, what's up, man?
We still going out tonight?
Oh, definitely. It's a huge night. Stuart and John are coming too.
Nice.
Where should we meet?
What about the lobby?
No. Lobby's no good. He'll look there. I'd say parking lot.
Cool.
7 o'clock.
I'll be there.
Well,
See you guys later.
Oh, yeah. Big night. Oh, huge.
Football atmosphere here on the campus of the University of Alabama. And, of course, all this excitement brought about by the 3-0 start.
Halftime at the Kibbie Dome, 35-14 for the visitors from Northern Illinois. This is the Northwest Dodge Dealers halftime report, and we're pleased to welcome the boss joining us here in the booth here, Athletic Director Rob Spear. The Kibbie Dome, such a venerable place. So many records have been set here, big events over the years, and it's become a real icon in collegiate sports. And you're getting around now to making some plans to make it even better over the next few years.
Bob, we are. We're very excited about the process we went through. We underwent a long feasibility study
study where we evaluated our athletic needs for the next 30 years, which included renovating the dome and some other activities down the road. We're very excited about the possibility of renovating the dome because we think we can make it a great special place and create a home field advantage unlike anywhere else in the country. You have to understand the Kibbie Dome is only one of 2 domes in the country on a college campus. The other one is Syracuse. So we want to take what we have, create a great environment, and make it a difficult place for the opponent to come in and play.
And of course this year, beautiful new sprint turf down there, and I know all the players are happy about that, but we're talking about some serious fan amenities here in this next step.
We are. You know, the whole thing will start with actually lowering the field 12 feet so we can improve sight lines and add additional seating so that we can get above 20,000 seats in the first phase. Once we do that, we'll have again install the new real grass system that we have, and then we'll install suites on the north side, have a great club section in on this east end zone that you'll see here. I think it's a fantastic venue where people can come out on the balcony and view a game in a unique way. And also we'll put in loge seats and 300 club seats to start. So it's just the first phase. It's a Kibbie Dome first strategy. And once we get that, Bob, we're going to keep building and keep on going.
So you know what all the Vandal fans want to know? What am I going to see this? What kind of timeline do you have right now?
You know, we're very thorough in our process, and what we're doing is we're getting together with the president, and the president has committed $16 million of bonding that will happen to take care of some life safety issues. We need to privately fundraise and be successful there before we get out and really establish a timeline. I'm impatient. I want it done tomorrow, but I really think that 09 is probably when we'll see some progress, at least the start of the construction.
All right, very exciting stuff, and I know Vandal fans looking forward to making the trip home to Palouse to take care of it. Rob, thanks for stopping by. Athletic Director Rob Spear. More to come on the Northwest Dodge Dealers Halftime Report.
So, have you been on a lot of blind dates?
Well, this would make one.
Oh,
Yeah.
me too. What do you do?
I'm a vet.
I love animals.
Really? Where are you from?
Michigan, born and raised. Go Blue.
Go Buckeyes! Go Buckeyes!
Guy's a proven veteran and a big game pitcher. He says he tweaked his back and needs to go on the DL. He needs to go on the DL.
Oh, please, will you give me a break? The guy is a wuss. He pitches once every 5 days. He's in the worst division in baseball. He is a spoiled, pampered softy. Easy on the cuticles.
What makes them different makes them great. Mike and Mike in the morning.
This September, get ready for America's next great team. ESPN presents the FIFA Women's World Cup. Abby Wambach and Christine Lilly lead #1 ranked Team USA into China for a shot at glory. The time is now. The world is their stage. The 2007 FIFA Women's World Cup, September, live on ESPN and ESPN2.
Jorge.
Yeah.
What's going on with your hat, man?
What's wrong with my hat, man?
I mean, it doesn't look like a ball player's hat. I mean, it looks all brand new, you know?
Just come out of the box. I'm a catcher, man. I never had to wear that thing.
You gotta break this thing in. Hey, Wally. Wally. Hey, it's not what you think.
Well, it was really fun. I enjoyed the challenge of the weather early in the spring. As I said last night at the Hall of Fame thing, I've never taken batting practice with a down parka on. It was quite an experience. But it was a lot of fun. We had the same competitive teams now. LC was tough, Washington State was tough, Gonzaga was tough, and we hung in there with them. It was fun beating those guys. For me personally, the most challenging and wonderful thing was my senior year. I ended up being the only catcher on the team. And I was playing left field. Our third catcher went down. I had to come in and catch. I had underwear on, no cup, and my formerly hairy legs. And I caught every single pitch every batting practice, including a 27-inning triple header in Missoula, Montana one time. But that was great. I loved it. We had quite an interesting crew. We had Mike Ruscio from Spokane, who was about 5'10", about 310, who could move quick as hell for 3 feet and then couldn't move much, but boy, could he hit. And we had some real characters on that team. A lot of guys from Lewiston and Spokane, and a couple guys from California, which was a lot of fun.
And the Northwest Dodge dealers bringing you that Hall of Fame moment all throughout this season. We're fortunate now to have the president of the University of Idaho joining us here at halftime, Dr. Tim White, in the booth. 4th year on the Palouse at the University of Idaho, and just so far, what have you seen in the growth of this school and how people see it around the state?
Well, Bob, you know, it's really a great time at the University of Idaho. I think of the word leading and leadership in so many ways. You know, when you think of this as the state of Idaho's first university, it's a chance for building leadership among our student body. It's taking leading positions in our academic fields. We're clearly moving forward in a very positive way these days, and I'm very grateful for being here. I'm some days sobered about the amount of work in front of us, but it is a good chance for leadership development all around the board for us.
This is a university you're kind of taking to the state right now, and this is happening in a lot of states where universities find the branch campuses can be so much more valuable. You really are, as large as the state is, it's important to take the university to the people.
Well, we'd like to say that for the University of Idaho, the state is our campus, and that's because of our land grant mission. But you're right, we have a new campus being built in Sandpoint, Idaho. We, of course, have a center up in Coeur d'Alene and Research Park over in Post Falls. We have a wonderful building. It's so exciting in Boise, and programs over in Idaho Falls. So we are around the state with major campuses and centers, but also in every county of the state with our extension activities and the R&D for the agricultural and life sciences world. So it's a very encouraging time for us at the university.
Now that school's back in session, I know you have a great love for the professors, now they interact with the students. What you see of the academic community and how they're serving your students right now?
Well, you know, this year we've hired 64 new tenure-track faculty. That's almost 10% of our entire professorial workforce, so it's an amazing renewal going on. People are wanting to be here because of the leadership positions we're taking. We're taking them in the Art and Architecture Department with a Sustainable Design Conference that we just went through week. We have a conference coming up on sustainability and the environment with Governor Otter and leading members of business and academe coming into Moscow on October 1st, which is free and open to the public. So there's lots of things we're talking about. Programs, our students, our faculty are all pulling together for the future of the state of the Idaho and this nation, quite frankly.
It's a great campus to come home to no matter where you are in the state. Dr. White, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Bob, and we appreciate the opportunity.
More to come on the Northwest Dodge Dealers halftime report. First half highlights and analysis from Mr. Lamb. Northern Illinois with the lead at intermission.
ESPN Game Plan is presented by Olivia, award-winning high-definition television.
Behind the headlines.
Hold it!
Beyond the highlights.
There may be an asterisk right next to Barry Bonds.
Beneath the surface.
Which of these guns would an athlete be drawn to?
Outside the Lines, hosted by Bob Lee. Sundays at 9:30 a.m. and weekdays at 3 on ESPN.
Things you love about basketball. Quickness. Quickness. Athleticism. Athleticism. Desire. Desire. You're a fan. You just don't know it yet. Watch MLS Primetime Thursday nights on ESPN2. Presented by Adidas.
Excuse me, Poppy? Hey, what's up? I know you're busy. Love to meet my family.
Sure.
Big Sox fans. My dad, Ed.
Hi, Ed. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Mom, Mary.
Hi, Mary. It's a pleasure.
And that's my little sis, Christine.
Christine.
Hi.
Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks. Thanks, Poppy.
Nice meeting you.
Let's go look at the studio.
The Northwest Dodge Dealers halftime report rolls on. 35-14. Northern Illinois leading the Idaho Vandals. Bob Akemi and Mike Lamb back with you at the Kibbie Dome. We talked about turnovers maybe being a big story today, but we thought it would be the Vandals taking the ball away from Northern Illinois, and Northern really has made a lot of their own luck. They've actually been outgained in the game, but you take advantage of those breaks, makes a big difference.
Well, it's obviously been a game that has turned on big plays, and right now the Huskies lead the Vandals 3 big plays to 1.
That's about it, and we get into our Pepsi Rewind, the first half highlights. That is the story of this game. The Vandals ran the ball well early with Deontay Jackson.
Deontay Jackson piling in there after just a beautiful drive. And then going on, it goes to the air, and oh my gosh, it's so close. Almost a shoestring tackle,
Matt
and that's
Simon
where the Huskies got together.
Here's the pick 6.
Bad decision, bad throw. You've got very good corners. You don't decide ahead of time that you're going to throw it over there when you don't have a man open.
Chase Carter went 95 with that one. On to the second quarter, and they come right back into the back of the end zone with Britt Davis.
And that was such an impressive throw to come over one defender and in front of another.
Another big play, the block punt.
You've got to block that from the inside out. If you give somebody a direct route right up the middle, well, that's what's going to happen to you. And like we said, big plays, and they've all turned into touchdowns for the Huskies.
And another big play, Larry English, who does everything for this team on defense, literally knocks the ball out of the hands of Enderle, and that's 6 more. But the Vandals do get their big play. Shiloh KO. Coaches don't like it until right about here.
Yeah, and then you don't like it if you're Shiloh KO because a punter has a chance at you, and oh, please don't let a punter get me. You didn't, and you're in the end zone, and everybody's happy with you.
A sign of life for the Vandals, cutting it to 35-14. All right, locker room adjustments. You got a hill to climb, but are there some basic adjustments the Vandals should be making?
Yeah, there are some basic adjustments. One is to play within yourself. You're still going to have to take some shots down the field, but the one thing that Nathan Enderle has tried to do is throw the ball even when it's not there. Take what the defense is going to give you. Don't throw the ball down the field just to throw down the field for its own sake.
Second half set to begin. That's your Northwest Dodge Dealers halftime report. We still got stats, scores. Take a look around the top 10, the Pac-10 of the WAC as we continue from the Kibbie Dome. Let's take a break for our local stations on the Go Vandals Television Network.
Little House on the Prairie.
Yes!
One more. Go. Another. Go quick. Okay, 3 words. 3 syllables. First word. Hook.
Yes.
Hook.
Okay.
Go. What else? Hook. Horns.
Yes.
Hook. Horns.
Yes.
Hook.
You so got it.
You so had this. Come on.
No.
Come on.
An insane deer.
Deer? That's not. Wow. There you go.
Paper. Taco meat.
Unbelievable.
What's that?
These athletes, some of the things they demand. Who do these guys think they are?
Lavender-scented candles, organic fat-free tofu burgers, an autographed poster of Nancy Kerrigan.
Those aren't demands. Those are necessities. There's a difference.
What makes them different makes them great. Mike and Mike in the morning.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. All season long on ABC and ABC HD. College football lives here on ESPN. And to see it all, you need the ESPN Game Plan pay-per-view package. With key matchups and rivalries from major conferences, you'll get up to 12 extra games every Saturday. Order now and you'll be all set for a full season of great college football with ESPN Game Plan. ESPN Game Plan presented by Olivia. Just $129 for a limited time. To order, call your pay-per-view provider. Games also available on ESPN360.com.
Third quarter set to begin. Northern Illinois with a 35-14 lead over the Vandals. Take a look at the University of Idaho first half statistics. And you look at the stats, you think the home team would be leading. First downs, better job of running the ball, more time of possession. And that turnover total doesn't count the blocked punt.
Yeah, it is. It's simple as that. It's big plays. And that group of stats, it's 3-1. 3 big plays for a touchdown for the Huskies and only 1 for the Vandals. And, you know, coming in game plan wise, Vandals probably doing what they wanted to do. Time of possession is in their favor, limited the number of penalties. 5's more obviously than they wanted to have. And you look at the numbers, rushing and passing, you're ahead. But the score, not really indicative of that. And so what do you say at halftime, Bob? You know, that to me, that's the test of a coach. When you go in and you're down with a score like that, do you try to build upon what Shiloh K.O. did to end the first half?
I think the answer is yes. We continue with the University of Idaho Boise campus scoreboard. Everything in the wax still to come. New Mexico State kicking off right now at Auburn. San Jose State, Utah State, first conference game in Hawaii. With or without Colt Brennan, should be able to name the score against Charleston Southern.
I would think that might be the case. And then, of course, tonight, the #1 Trojans taking on the Cougars. Long trip from the Palouse to Southern California. And then SEC action with pretty good matchups right there. Of course, LSU and the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier.
West Virginia continuing to take care of business. Cal's got a big one with Oregon next week. The Ducks are playing tonight at Stanford, so that could be 2 undefeated teams. Ohio State raising the flag of the Big Ten. Penn State no longer perfect as Michigan finding a little hope.
Well, that's a surprise. I mean, for most people that watched the Big Ten and saw the start that Lloyd Carr and the Wolverines got off to, and anticipating Joe Paterno and the Nittany Lions maybe running the table in the Big Ten, thinking that they were going to be the class, much like Oklahoma might be in the Big 12.
And you saw the Bengals of Idaho State hosting Eastern Washington down in that one. Now let's take a look back at our Pepsi keys to refreshment, and this kind of went the other way. Deontay Jackson is the leading ball carrier for the Vandals, and Nicholson has made no mistakes at quarterback for Northern Illinois. The physicality, I mean, that's the difference right there. It has been all NIU.
It has been, and that is something that you can't necessarily change at the beginning of the season. You can't go into spring ball and say, you know what, we're going to be a physical team. It's not something that you can talk about. It's something that you have to become, and that's why I thought that was going to be a very big test for the front of the Vandals.
And to top it off, Northern Illinois will get the ball first with the 21-point lead in the third quarter. That's up to the Vandal defense. Make a stand early. Out to the 28, and Northern Illinois will start from there. The very emotional Patrick George getting a little block. He comes out to return every kick, has to do high-flying chest bumps with his teammates. Loves to play.
And as you like to point out, NIU in its usual starting field position. Either the 27 or the 28, right in that zone.
It's like a video game. You know, you hit reset on your Madden. And that familiar formation. Play action. Anderson stays to block. Complete. Simon. And we talk so much about what Max Komar does, getting open for the Vandals. And really, Matt Simon, the same kind of guy.
Yeah, Matt Simon has done a great job of that. Matt Simon with the one long touchdown earlier. Of course, he blocked a punt. And what's going on here is you've got a very tight formation. You're in a big formation. You split Matt Simon out wide. He's got man coverage. He's got it again, only this time it's on the right side. He's at the bottom of your screen.
First down. A sweep action. We saw this once before in the first half, and Justin Anderson keeps on rambling. Anderson, 17 carries now.
Now, Justin Anderson, obviously a featured part of this offense, and when you've got somebody that is that fast, that physically gifted, and is that physical, it really is an opportunity for you. Well, all right, we're going to go outside. We're going to run a little sweep outside. We're going to let him use the speed, and when you adapt to that, we're going to hit you right up the middle with his physicality.
17 carries, 79 yards. Second and short. Anderson on second and short. Are you kidding? First down and more. Ran right through the arms of Chris Smith.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. We're going to try to stretch you on the outside over to the right, and then we're going to come back and we're going to go power on the left side. And that's what the look is that you're going to get. Nothing too fancy here. You know, you got a little power on the left side. You get the blocks. You run through a couple of tackles, and you're into the second level before the Vandals can bring you down.
First down into Vandal territory. Nicholson chased. Incomplete. Good pursuit that time. Blevins, is that again? Yes.
Excellent coverage in the secondary for the University of Idaho. There was nowhere to go with that ball, and Dan Nicholson, who has probably heard about it enough, don't try to make big plays down the field. And I think that has really been the difference in his play in this game. He hasn't made that big killer mistake that he's been guilty of in the 3 previous games.
Definitely his best overall performance of the season in 4 games. Anderson turns it back in, runs into the tackler, and still gets 5 yards on second down.
Joe Arsrati coming up, making a nice play there and getting down low. I don't think you want to go up too high on Justin Anderson. I think you want to be able to get him from the waist down because of his excellent body position. So now it's third down. A way to go. Is it a passing down?
I don't know with this team. Look where they got Anderson lined up. He's going to go out wide. Nicholson looking at him all the way, turns it in, will go nowhere. Musika. Siwa Musika, the senior, Milpitas, California. He'll have a few people when we're down at San Jose State in a couple of weeks.
Well, over on the right side, you've got crossing patterns, and you've got Justin Anderson and Matt Simon, and nice job in the secondary. They're in a zone over there, nowhere to go, and he eats the ball. In my opinion, that's not a bad play. That's a sign of maturity in Dan Nicholson. Eat it rather than throw it.
So the Vandals force a punt. KO, where he has returned several of these today. Fair catch at the 9-yard line, and the Vandals will start from their own 20. 12 minutes left in the third quarter. Looking to create some offense. I think right now probably topic one. I'm sure they spent a lot of time on this, was getting Enderle under control. Vandals' first possession of the second half. When we come back, break for the locals.
Things you love about football.
ESPN Ultimate NASCAR. Own all 4 volumes on DVD now.
Vandals on the ball for the first time in the second half. Trailing by 3 touchdowns. Nathan Enderle, 8 of 21, 115 yards, 1 pick. Been sacked 3 times. First down, they go to the familiar. Deontay Jackson, his 15th carry of the game.
I like that call. I like that there's not panic, and you're just chucking the ball, trying to get back in the game. Go back to your game plan as it was originally. Give the ball to Deontay Jackson, who obviously is the talent on this offense. Only a redshirt freshman. Nice of the previous staff to leave him there.
Now they didn't want to. He was invited to join Dennis Erickson of Arizona State. Out of the backfield, Eddie Williams. Williams, 35, first down Vandals. That time Enderle used a lot of the field. Got the defense going one way. And got a little better look, I thought, as he was rolling. Sometimes I don't think he sees as well when he rolls to one side or the other.
No, I don't think most quarterbacks do. And the reason that you're going to roll is because you've had a problem with penetration. You've had a problem dealing with their defensive line. And he rolls right, nobody around. Almost gets his feet set. Not perfect.
Yeah, he was going backwards, too. That's a pretty good throw. Deontay Jackson comes back on first down.
They're going to have to continue to do that. I mean, just now is a good time to have the run in the mix. You're going to have something unforeseen happen to get back in the game, in my opinion. I mean, it's going to be hard. You have one offensive touchdown to this point. You were down 35-7 before the big return by Shiloh Ko. So now just go back to what your basic game plan was in the beginning.
Second down. Jackson evades English. Still going. Ran by Josh Allen. To the 33. And that's the Deontay Jackson Vandal fans have fallen in love with this year.
See, we're talking about getting back to the original game plan. That looks like the first quarter right there. That looked like the first series that the Vandals had offensively. Get a little push up here. You run a little counter tray on the backside there. It opens up, and then he has got the wheels to get going out there. You get a little block down field. Stop. Get what you can. They'll remember that.
Bird in the game now. Komar in the slot, first down, long count. Home run ball, dangerous but cut. Maurice Shaw down to the 10-yard line. Boy, the defender was looking right at it, too.
Well, that's not any defender. That's the guy that took it pick 6 in the first half. You're looking right at him. You never look him off. You've already made up your mind you're going to throw this ball. That's Chase Carter, the guy that picked you off. And that's a certain element of luck that this ball is in there. That's another one. You know, it's a completion, but you don't want to be sitting there when the video's played.
You think they'll get him a clicker a few times?
Yeah.
English coming hard. Might have been encroachment. Free play. Jackson is in. Touchdown, Vandals.
See what you call it. Touchdown on the Huskies.
There was Phil Brown jumping around at the line, and Deontay Jackson is in. His second touchdown of the game.
You know what I like best about that? There was no panic in the way they called the plays.
Amancio. Kick is good. And the Vandals cut the margin to 2 touchdowns. 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Northern Illinois 35, Idaho 21. You're watching the Go Vandals television network.
Good job.
The road will travel through 16 dreams.
I really can't be stopped.
10 weeks.
This is pretty much make it or break it. Every round counts.
1 shot.
I'll do whatever it takes. I'm not planning on losing.
The Contender. An all-new season begins Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on ESPN.
There's Deontay Jackson. Their 80-yard drive, and the Vandals, when they've marched, have been pretty efficient. A 4-minute touchdown drive, now a 2-minute drive. Here's the touch.
There's the touch again, that backside we talked about so much, and you see that nice block on the backside by Billy Bates. To me, that's the key that Billy Bates got. His man kept contact, kept pushing down the field, and that makes for an easier run for Deontay Jackson. Love the fact that they stuck with the game plan. Love the fact they kept the ball on the ground.
Now you're talking 10 minutes left in the third. A lot of football left, and it's a 2-touchdown game. You don't have to push anything yet.
Like the panic button?
Rob Akey doesn't have a panic button.
Oh, big play.
On the backside on the kick return. That one took too much time. Kerry Jensen-Madison, another redshirt freshman. It's amazing, all these guys that were here under Dennis Erickson last year who didn't play, showing up, and you know, this staff didn't know a lot about them.
Remember we were talking earlier how I love a guy that goes north and south right at you. When you go sideways, what do you give the coverage team a chance to do? Get down there and make up ground. That's why you're in a bad spot. It's the first time that they've started deep in their own end of the field, and that's the going to be a test for the Huskies here.
from the end zone. Caught Simon out at the 30. Good thing the turf tripped him, or that might have been worse. Nicholson hanging out on the edge, took a beating as he threw the football. Matt Simon there again.
Matt Simon has been a star in this game, and if I'm Matt Simon, I'm going to see if I can keep that number 99 jersey, because he's had nothing but big play after big play. He just runs a little post corner here. The safety is occupied. You're right. Little turf monster got him, or that might have been an even bigger play.
Well, in this variety of trip, you saw that rubber dirt being kicked out. It's brand new. They'll have a second game on it, so it's pretty lush underneath. That's Greg Turner. They go to the outside that time, and Turner gets into Idaho territory.
Greg Turner is the guy in the zone coverage there that is not covered. You get over to him a little late, and then he gets ahead of steam. But what makes that such a big play is Britt Davis. Now, Britt Davis is the second leading receiver on this team, but he gets a block downfield, and that's why that is such a big game for the Huskies.
Anderson, Mr. Volume, good block downfield. That was Turner, helped him get inside the 30. Little stock blocking there by a receiver. See, the only programs receivers like that is in options where you have to block all the time.
Yeah, but I think that more, if you go back and look at big plays, almost always you'll see that. Look at the two big fellas out here. You got Eddie Damsky and Jason Onyebuaga coming out there, and those two fellas come out, both get good blocks there, and then you're into the secondary. Nice job by the O-line. Nice job by those two guys pulling out there, and you don't often see a center and a guard pulling out together. And there is Jason. I thought he had a stinger in his shoulder after that play.
Jason caught the first pass of his life earlier this year on a tip ball.
How many yards did he go for?
5.
Oh, all right. It's nothing like the cat-like agility of an offensive lineman.
But what would the coach say in the film? Go forward. Run forward.
No, grab grass. Get down and just
hold the ball.
And he'll come out for a while. We'll see.
It's not a guy you want out of your line.
No, absolutely not. Especially after the great play he just had.
Kevin Scatrud in now. Richard sophomore taking that guard spot on the right side. A run to the left. Anderson for the flag. First down almost. We could tangle there with one of the officials.
You all right, sir? Yeah, that play, that ended up 10 yards out of bounds.
A lot of momentum there. And David Vabora there. Now, there's a name we've not called much today. He's made so many tackles the last few years.
Well, that's been, it has been interesting how many times we're talking about guys making tackles in the secondary. Look at the blocking going on there. Pretty good. And, it's close. Josh Shaw very close to making a tackle there. Can't get his hands on Anderson.
Our Chain Gang member had a run for his life, but he's up.
Not a baby.
Second and short, he's going to get the ball. Anderson by himself ran headlong into Chris Smith and friends. First down to the 18.
If you understand the zone blocking concept, a play is designed to go one way, and that one looking like it's designed to go to the right side. But Justin Anderson has done a good job doing something that we have seen from Deontay Jackson, and that is cutting it to the backside. That's what the zone is designed to do. The hole isn't necessarily going to be where it was designed to. That's why vision is so important to these backs.
Onyebuaga is still out of the game, flexing that arm on the sideline. Anderson weaving his way to the 11. And we talked about Deontay Jackson. Anderson is Steven Jackson-like as well.
He does have some of that. And he's also been able to catch the ball out of the backfield, and something that as a defensive coordinator, you think to yourself, man, you got a guy that can run like that. He's physical, he's fast. Now I got to worry about him splitting out. We've seen it a couple times. They've split him out. They've run crossing patterns. It really makes it tough to defend.
Yeah, you put him out wide. Did you run a linebacker that far out to watch him?
No.
Big push by the Vandals, and they stop Anderson in the backfield. That was Vabora coming off the edge. He kind of overran it, but he forced the play inside. Jardis was there.
But you almost have to do that. You know, that's why the cutback is working so well, because you're having to penetrate and you're having to slant to the play and make contact through penetration. And that's how you're making the big plays. Now, I'm telling you, if I'm calling the plays and I see that, that's when I say, hey, I want you going backside this next time.
I'm out.
Everybody flew to that side.
And on a fairly important third down, Northern Illinois takes a timeout relatively early in the second half. 6:50 to go, but again, this is a chance to stick it in there. If you're the visitors, you want to take advantage of every trip into the red zone.
Well, you got to understand where you're at in the game and the type of game that it is. It's been a game of big plays and a lot of scoring, and in theory, if you don't score here, if you try to kick a field goal and miss it, and then you let Idaho go back down, now that's how you're starting to think about it. So it could be a turning point in the game. So call the timeout. If you're not sure what you're going to do, get sure. Get everybody together. Talk it over. Hey, let's get this score here. You know, let's get that lead back up there where we were very comfortable, because you're never comfortable. And I'd be even less so after the offensive set I just saw from the Vandals.
Mark Kreiner sending his defense back out on the field. Familiar name there. That is the son of Jim Kreiner. Actually made a name for himself defensively. Several different stops. Another great hire by Rob Akey for this staff. 3rd and a long 4. They almost get Anderson, but he cuts back into the end zone for the touchdown. Vabora had penetration, but just got a clip of the ankles. And from 12 yards out, Justin Anderson in for 6.
Well, you're going to talk about tackling on this, or the lack thereof. And that's why Justin Anderson able to scamper through there. I mean, there's 5 guys that were seemingly close enough to make a play. Not to take anything away from that man in the run he just had.
Hey, he just knows where to run. You got to respect that. Extra point is good. Well, they say Garrett Wolf was the greatest running back in Northern Illinois history, but the future is now with Justin Anderson. 6:45 to play in the 3rd quarter. We take a break for our local stations. You're watching the Go Vandals Television Network.
Guy's a proven veteran and a big game pitcher. He says he tweaked his back and needs to go on the DL. He needs to go on the DL.
Oh, please, will you give me a break? The guy is a wuss. He pitches once every 5 days. He's in the worst division in baseball. He is a spoiled, pampered softy. Easy on the cuticles.
What makes them different makes them great. Mike and Mike in the morning.
This September, get ready for America's next great team. ESPN presents the FIFA Women's World Cup. Abby Wambach and
Dad's weekend. I'm guessing the little one is not a enrolled U of I student, however.
But a fan nonetheless.
There's Dad. His 2 little ones will be out on the field after the game. Young Jack and Daniel.
Now he needs the rest of his extended family to come up with some big plays here in this game.
Midway through the 3rd, Vandals back down by 3 touchdowns. And no return that time. I'm stunned Dewey Hale doesn't try to bring that out. He's so aggressive with that.
Aggressive kick returning and aggressive punt returns are something that we have seen this afternoon. One of them, really one of the great plays you're going to see in a while.
Vandals on TV coming up. We'll be on the Go Vandals Network. All these great stations on the 6 from San Jose State. Fresno State game. Altitude Sports and Entertainment. on the 13th. Go Vandals Network has the Nevada game on the 27th and the season finale against Utah State on Altitude Thanksgiving weekend from here at the Dome. It's down from the 20. Middle, tight end, complete first down. Good pass for Enderle to start the drive as they get Bjorvik involved.
Plenty of time for Nathan Enderle to get his feet set. Nice pocket, nobody around him. When you're comfortable like that as a quarterback, chances are you're going to put the ball where it has to be. And the times he's been comfortable, he's been very accurate.
From the 37. The fullback, a rare carry for Raleigh Lambala. The fullback does not carry the ball much in this offense. Of course, there seldom is a fullback. It's usually an H.
It's an H. And,
an R.
And effectively, that's what Raleigh has done for them. He's moved around. So many parts are interchangeable in this offense. Running back. Are you a fullback? Are you an H-back? What are you really?
Williams motioning. He's the H that time. Enderle rolls, throws, complete. Tight end again. Bjorvik out near midfield. Another first down. Peter Bjorvik has simply risen up through the depth chart by being better and better every week, grading out very well. Had an excellent game against Washington State. Comes from Prineville, and one of the great giant killer schools in Oregon history, Crook County. Stunned the world in 1984, winning the Oregon Large School State Championship. They don't play in that classification anymore, but there's a great bit of history there at that school.
Trying to run it up the gut, Deontay Jackson, and that's all going to be on the offensive line. If you're going to try to go in the middle there and try to run an inside zone, you got to get that push, and you've got to get the defenders going backwards, and obviously that is easier said than done. But you go back to Bjorvik, he's just gotten himself open, and he's been wide open on the catches he's made.
Maurice Shaw in the slot with Komar. 2nd and 8. Pressure, Enderle hit as he throws. Would have been picked off. That was Jake Kaufman.
Play doesn't work from the beginning. If you're going to roll somebody out either side, you anticipate that no one's going to be there. And then as is the maturation of a quarterback, Enderle as a redshirt freshman learning, throw the ball away. Don't try to make plays all the time.
3rd down, a lot of help in the backfield. Watch for Deontay maybe releasing. He does. Enderle's looking downfield. Now he'll run. English on him. Takes a shot from Mel Rice short of the first down. Bad enough you got English on your back, and then Rice comes up and pops you.
That time the Huskies change it up a little bit. They bring 3 and they drop 8, and that's the reason that Enderle has time. He's in the pocket, steps up, nobody's open, and that's why he takes off with the ball. But son, you got to protect yourself. Oh, do not take that shot. Get down. There's no cowardice in getting down and protecting yourself.
Another Century 21 replay on 4th down. The Vandals looking to go for it. Somebody get a timeout first? Yes. Idaho called the timeout. That came from the sideline, too. I think Jonathan Smith saw something he didn't like.
30 seconds. You get into these situations where you're not sure. If you're Rob Akey, you know that you've got a young quarterback, you've got a young running back. You're trying to get these guys to come together. They have developed every week. They've gotten better at some things, but it's not a natural thing for them. So when you come to a critical juncture like this on a 4th down, call timeout.
That is Jonathan Smith, the quarterback's coach at Idaho. Came out of nowhere at Oregon State, put up some huge numbers for the end of the first Mike Riley era, then for Dennis Erickson. Ended up on the staff here with Erickson. Considered to be a bright young mind offensively, and one of the reasons Enderle's done such a good job on the learning curve this year. 4th and short. Good blocking. Jackson straight ahead. He's got it. First down at the 40. Progress.
That is a, he's coming up slow, but that was a beautiful run and the way to do it. You don't want to see that if you're an Idaho Vandal fan. Deontay Jackson, really the centerpiece of your offense.
All inside the 40 for the first down, and Rob Akey's going to come out himself. Deontay Jackson has been a guy to really become a leader, capture the fancy of the fans here. You know, with a new coaching staff, one thing Rob Akey did in the spring was he kind of let the players find themselves, become a team themselves. And guys like Jackson, through their play on the field, became leaders. Take a look as he goes down.
And I'm trying to see his legs in there.
Right there. Somebody fell on the foot.
Yeah, I did not see it turn or twist. And I hate looking at those replays.
Yeah.
It takes me back to the day, and you hope it's something where it's a kick.
That didn't look like a lot of twisting, but when it's not your foot, you can't tell.
You just don't know. But I did love the run, though. When it's 4th and short, I like the running back that can change his style and understand that this is not the time to move around and try to make it a touchdown. It's not the time to make the big cutback and be a hero. It's the time to get the first down. And he doesn't try to do anything fancy. He sees the holder, just gets up in there and gets the first. Again, I didn't see anything telling. But he is obviously very ginger on that. And obviously the University of Idaho training staff helps him off onto the bench. So now an empty formation since Deontay Jackson is out. No running backs in the backfield.
Bird's in the game, but he's the wide out to the left. First down we see him this formation. Trouble from behind with English, and Enderle goes down. And again, Larry English getting pressure, and it was Kaufman finishing the job. We do have a flag. Larry English living up to his billing on the field all the time. With a face mask, that's good for the Vandals.
Did you say living up to his billing? I would say that he's under-promised and over-delivered.
He's on the field all the time. He's been playing hurt.
Personal foul, face mask, number 51 on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
You know, they say he's not the same since last year with the injury in the bowl game.
And Larry English just able to get upfield with that speed.
Quick release. There's Bird inside the 10, dives down at the 1. Flag on the play. Play that almost ran awry. Not a great shotgun snap, but another face mask against Northern Illinois. The break's going the other way right now.
Nice job by Jason Bird that time. He just runs a little wheel route out there, and those are so hard to pick up. Got that head of steam, and now the back-to-back face mask calls. You'll see it here. He's the ball there, yeah. And then Bird, he just runs a little wheel route out there, and you got 2 defenders wrapped up with the streak.
Now we march it the other way for the personal foul.
Is that right?
That's against the Vandals. Now catch me, is that the same penalty? Did they just go the wrong way and then they brought it back?
The look that is on Coach Akey's face is where I'm at right now. I thought that they called it
The initial
and they
signal,
pointed it. The signal was against the Huskies.
Well, the referee very quickly gave that preliminary. I wonder if he had not conferred sufficiently with the rest of the crew. I think a lot of us saw that. Toss sweep with Bird. Fighting his way. And that's kind of symbolic of how Bird is. I mean, here's a guy not as fast, having to do a stiff arm in the backfield.
Right.
And he still gets back to the line of scrimmage and gets something out of it.
You know who else has been playing well for the Huskies defense is Corporal Jake Kaufman, number 54, making some big plays, coming up on passing downs, putting pressure. That time he turned the play back inside.
After a couple tours in Iraq, football's easy.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Second and a bunch, more pressure. Enderle bumped as he throws. Guess who? Larry English.
See, I don't understand this. Why? You've got to do something to address Larry English. Obviously, you are having a hard time handling him one-on-one. And I'm a little bit surprised because it's not as though the Vandals haven't done that in the past. They haven't kept backs in the backfield to help protect. And when you've got one guy that is constantly on your quarterback, I'm just surprised they haven't chipped off to help.
Larry English having an all-around day. 9 tackles, 3 for loss now.
See, Bird comes over to English's side. I think that's the right thing to do.
And they need him to help. Yep. That time he gets some time, but not enough. English gets him anyway. The coverage made that play because they had English blocked twice, but just not enough time. Enderle has to wait, and eventually English is going to beat Bird.
I can recall those plays, and you think to yourself, how long is the quarterback going to hold it? You know, how long do I have to block this guy? And it's hard for me to sit there and get down on Jason Bird because he was over there, and English just comes off of the play because it takes so long. How long can you hold that guy on a block?
4th tackle for loss for English. Another nice high punt by Conley. Out of bounds, and for one of the few times today, Northern Illinois will not start around the 30-yard line.
Love that punt. I think that's becoming a lost art, putting the ball out of bounds near the goal line.
I think it's interesting to hear punters talk about having to be taught directional punting.
It would seem to be common sense to most people, and coaches got away from it for a long time, but that was a nice example of it. Kick it into the end zone, it's on the 20. You kick it out at the 10, kick it out on the 19, that's a yard better than kicking it in the end zone.
We're at the Kibbie Dome in Moscow, Idaho. Bob Akamian, Mike Lamb, 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Northern Illinois with a 42-21 lead. They love keeping the ball on the ground. Weston Anderson has been the workhorse.
Not changing anything. When you're the NIU Huskies, you've got a running back, and it's the guy that you have figured can do everything for you. He can run the ball. 19 catches coming into this game, 2 touchdown catches. Fast, physical. Obviously understands this offense.
Getting up near the career high numbers that he set just last week against Eastern Michigan. Nicholson has a tight end open. Brandon Davis stopped at the 15. Barbora with the tackle.
I like what I saw from Dan Nicholson on that one. He's got a little levels read over on that right side. He's got 2 receivers in the same zone, and you know, if it's man, you're expecting those guys to be covered. If it is zone, then you're going to have a level, the bottom guy or the top guy.
Dave Barbora, the leader of this defense, a quiet 10 tackles in this game. They're down. Nicholson takes a beating as he throws the football. Good pressure by Taylor Rust and Brandon Ogletree. Rust gave him a shot.
Yeah, you know, you're feeling it when somebody's coming on your side here. You're going to watch right at the end. Just tries to get his feet set, and he knows Taylor Rust is right there. Goes up. I love Taylor Rust's story. You know, he's a guy that was told, you know, you're not big enough, you're not fast enough, you're not this, you're not that. And he said, really? Why don't you watch me and see if I am? And he comes up big on 3rd down there.
And he's become one of Rob Akey's favorites on the defense. A junior from Boise. KO says, all right, this time I'm not going to try anything fancy. And the ball rolls to the 24. Vandals will start from there with 28 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
That's such a gray area in special teams. You see that ball roll and the fans all groan. How many times have you seen somebody try to go over there and grab that and it turns into a disaster because it's so hard to handle and you have to take your eyes off of the coverage team?
We talked about all these young guys playing for Idaho. And the gain, you talk about the gain from week 1 to week 2. How about the gain that this program could have from year 1 to year 2 with Rob Akey, with all the experiences? Redshirt freshmen, sophomores are getting playing this year.
Well, especially when you talk about the redshirt freshmen that are offense. You've got Nathan Enderle as one of them.
It's a lookout ball, and it's picked up at the 30. Enderle hit as he threw the ball.
Well, and that was a redshirt freshman move right there. And pure and simple. It's something that the coach is going to talk to them about, something that you just cannot do. You get that ball, you're falling away, you've got somebody on you, and you just kind of throw it up for grabs. That's what young ball players do. And as just what you were alluding to, Bob, when you have a couple of years with players, you can educate them on that. They grow as players. Now, Nathan has grown to this point already. Deontay Jackson, the guy that seemingly just had it from the very beginning. But if I was to tell you that running back was as easy to play as quarterback, obviously I'd be lying to you.
Pressure came from Tranchitella, and there's a take back for the Idaho Vandals, and it is Shiloh Kao, his second big play of the game. Ball was intercepted by Bradley Pruitt. That wide for IU, but it comes right back to Kao.
Why didn't he take it all the way like he does on those punts? There's a guy, you know, you talk about having a nose for the football. You saw him from the very beginning of the season, from the USC game on. He's always got something to put together there. And look, oh, right in front. And that is a play where you're baiting. And you're kind of hanging out there. You're looking. You're hoping they're going to throw the ball your way. And at the last second, you come up. You want the ball more than the receiver. That's a big-time play by Shiloh Kao. But is there any other kind for him?
Final seconds of the 3rd quarter now as the Vandals get the ball back. So the turnovers negate each other. They'll throw it right away. Enderle deep. That's almost picked off. There's only white shirts down there. I don't know if that's the wrong route. Usually is when the ball's that far off. Max Komar was headed for the flag.
That's happened a couple times in this offense. And, you know, it's easy to get down on the quarterback. Nathan has made a couple of mistakes, but you bring up a good point. How do you know? Because when there's nobody in the area, you have to assume somebody broke off the route.
Now the 4 picks last week at Washington State, they grade the films, and 2 of them clearly wrong routes. Bird takes it to the 40, and that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Northern Illinois has struggled in the second half, holding on to leads. Can the Vandals be the next set of comeback hits against the Huskies? 15 minutes to go at the Kibbie Dome. 42-21, Northern Illinois.
Know it yet? Watch MLS Primetime Thursday nights on ESPN2, presented by Adidas.
Excuse me, Poppy. Hey, what's up? I know you're busy. Love to meet my family.
Sure.
Big Sox fans. My dad, Ed.
Hi, Ed. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Mom, Mary.
Hi, Mary. It's a pleasure.
And that's my little sis, Christine.
Christine.
Hi.
Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks. Thanks, Poppy.
Nice meeting you.
Let's go look at the studio.
The University of Idaho, Boise, Idaho Falls, and Coeur d'Alene, where you can earn the degree you need to lead.
That paint doesn't wear off through 3 quarters. 42-21, Northern Illinois as we begin the 4th. Abakamian and Mike Lamb, Moscow, Idaho. Last non-conference game for these 2 schools. Big 3rd down play, and Bird busts through the middle for the 1st down. Deontay Jackson still out of the game. Golden opportunity for Jason Bird.
The problem that Jason has had in the past is holding on to the football, but I love the way he gets to the hole. Look at that. There is no tentative running from Jason Bird. He just gets to the hole, runs through there, not trying to be fancy, not afraid to take you on. Keep giving him the rock. Let him pound it.
They have taped Jackson's ankle. Bird has stayed in the game. Shaw, first down inside the 40. Maurice Shaw breaking out with 3 catches now in this game.
The Huskies defensively a little loose on that zone there, and when you get a loose zone, it's incumbent upon you as a receiver to run a crisp and precise route, and that's how you'll come open, and that's exactly what Maurice Shaw did there, and that's why he got the ball.
First down from the 37. Time. Take a look at our University of Idaho Boise campus scoreboard. See New Mexico State underway at Auburn. All the other WAC action is tonight. Up 25. LSU taking care of business. Florida. There's Deontay Jackson. Getting some ice on it now.
That would indicate to me he is done for the afternoon.
Cal and Ohio State in control. The big surprise was this one. Michigan taking down Penn State. Incomplete.
So does that mean Appalachian State is better than Penn State?
Yes.
All right.
I'll play that game.
I'm just.
Hey, Appalachian, and I've seen a lot of 1AA football over the years. That's a good program.
Well, you know, if you want to get into that conversation, you know, that's not really surprising. They've won 2 championships in a row. That's a very, very well coached football team, very good team.
They got SEC, ACC kind of athletes. People in the Big Sky. I've done a lot of Big Sky games over the years. You ask Big Sky people, they'll tell you about App State. They don't want to play them in the playoffs either. Montana could have played them in the regular season and didn't want to. Like Bobby Hauckslide. I'll play him in the championship game. That'll be fine. Andrews got Komar, but looking the wrong way, and that almost goes back.
When you're looking at a secondary that's playing as loose as I've alluded to, when you've got safeties as deep as they are, you got to be aware. And I understand you see Max Komar, and he's streaking up the sideline, and you think you've got him. You've got to check what's coming over the top.
Fourth down, Vandals will go for it in NIU territory. Good coverage again. Enderle going to try to get 10 by himself, and he won't.
Jake Kaufman.
From behind.
Corporal Kaufman. What a great story. We talked about it, and it bears repeating. This is a guy that did tours in Iraq, and he has been a big part of this defense. Constant pressure on passing downs and then not giving up on the play.
Talk about guys being ready for college, go in the Marines for a few years. That's probably a good college prep.
But are you bored in college? That's the question.
You might be. So NIU gets a stop early in the 4th. Vandals thinking takeaway now, but you got to stop this guy. Justin Anderson.
It's a rare treat when you see 2 running backs this good in a game, or usually you've got one guy on one side and you're going to be fascinated. But when you've got Deontay Jackson on one side and then you've got Justin Anderson on the other, both these guys possess a lot of skills. Are they exactly alike? Obviously not. Do they have some things in common? Yes. Good body control, good speed. Anderson more physical than Deontay.
I don't want to say Anderson's going to make him forget Garrett Wolf, but not a bad successor. Nice block there, turns it back midfield. Another first down for the Huskies.
He's coming up a little gingerly there. He's getting a little nick here and there. But just get back in the huddle. It goes away. That's something that, you know, running backs coaches try to convey to the running backs. Hey, don't let them know. Don't let them know. Just get back to the huddle, and you're going to be all right. Just play through that one play.
Over the second straight week, Anderson's carried the ball 28 times.
Big numbers, big carries usually add up to big yards.
Good stop in the backfield there. Osika got penetration along with Taylor Rust. I think Taylor Rust is going to grade out pretty well this week.
I do too. And then Siwa Masika that time coming up and making some nice penetration. It's as simple as that. When you're trying to run a little inside play there, and look, you know, you got guys fighting deep. Siwa Masika is probably, what, 4 yards deep in the backfield. It's hard to get going. It's hard to do anything. You're just trying to get the handoff. You look at the numbers for Anderson, over 150 yards. Look at that average, 5.3 yards per carry.
You'll win a game running the ball with that kind of efficiency. First down run inside the 45. And I'm sure in Joe Novak's mind right now, he'd love to keep the ball on the ground and put it in the end zone one more time.
And
meanwhile, Ryan Noy starting to warm up.
That right. Well, should we make something of that? Should we assume he's going to go in the game? That's usually why you start warming up.
Mark Kreiner saw something, the defensive coordinator going nuts before the snap. No harm done, though. Britt Davis can't handle it.
Dan Nicholson has done a nice job of limiting the mistakes. We mentioned that was a key. Came into this game almost 70% in his completion percentage and over 70% in the last 2 games. But along with the 3 touchdowns that he's thrown, 7 interceptions. And a couple of those coming late in games that kept the Huskies from winning.
The punt almost blocked. Good penetration by Shaw. Touchback. Vandals have it back with 11:41 to play in the game. We're going to take a break for our local stations. Northern Illinois 42, Idaho 21 on the Go Vandals television network.
Unbelievable.
What's that?
These athletes, some of the
Great college football with ESPN Game Plan. ESPN Game Plan presented by Olivia. Just $129 for a limited time. To order, call your pay-per-view provider. Games also available on ESPN360.com.
Young Vandal in the making. I would tell you which class, but I can't do the math that quickly.
20-something.
28, I think. First down, Vandals deep in their own end, flags right away. Enderle stays in the game at quarterback. I mean, this is a learning moment, too.
Yes.
You know, football, fans get so obsessed with, and it's my mistake even talking about next year with the young guys.
Mm-hmm.
You only play 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
And people get so worried about saving guys and redshirting them and working ahead. You got 12 weeks to do this.
Yeah.
You got to play.
I believe in that, and unless a player is really not mature enough to handle it, then that's the time to utilize a red shirt. And of course, we're talking about Nathan Enderle and DeAndre Jackson both being redshirt freshmen. And what a luxury it is to have those guys for 4 years.
There's no reason to take him out of the game because there's some teaching moments. There he is on the run. Got out of the shadow of the goalpost, out to the 10. It'll still be second and long.
You don't want to leave a guy in there and get hurt. You know, that's the problem. You got other games, and he's obviously your #1 guy. And if you decide that the game is out of hand, then you'll probably want to think about getting him out of there. You don't want him getting banged up. But your point about learning, that's exactly right. You're a redshirt freshman. This game time exposure, you can't duplicate that in practice.
You know, you're playing Hawaii next week. You're going to see a little speed on that defense coming at you. There's Bird.
Be sure of that.
First down over the 20. Late flag. Well, great opportunity for Bird with Jackson, I'm guessing, not returning in this game. Holding on the Vandals. Take away the first down.
You like Bird because he's got a very simple approach to football. Just go hard all the time.
Holding, number 32. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. Repeat second down.
Bird, 8 carries, 52 yards, couple of catches since he came in.
Raleigh Lumbala caught with the hold over there. Whether you give Bird the ball up the middle or whether he's running out of the backfield, you know, he had the big wheel pattern that he caught. He's just going all the time. Looks like he gets in the weight room from time to time.
Second down, Enderley in the end zone. Middle deflection, nobody nearby, fortunately. Those are the kind of balls that get picked. Well, the Vandals are going to get Brian Flowers back eventually, the senior, probably within the next couple of weeks. So that'll create depth no matter what Deontay's situation is.
We talked so much about the job that Larry English has done for the Husky defense, and nice adjustment to get somebody over there because it was just obvious he was not going to be stopped with one guy.
3rd and 11. Here they come. Hit as he throws. Komar! First down out at the 40. Max Komar's 3rd catch of the game. That's good for 33 yards.
Nice job what they put together there, and you get Max Komar, and he's covered by the middle linebacker, John Tranchella. And John Tranchella has just not quite got the wheels that Max Komar has here, and you see him, he's got separation about 3 yards, and that ball's right where it has to be. You got safeties converging. You got your linebacker running down the middle. It's kind of almost like a cover 2 buck thing where you got a middle linebacker running deep.
Those are the kind of quality balls we saw Enderley throw last week. But he keeps feeling the heat. Kaufman from behind gets Komar very close to the first down out at midfield. Catch number 4 for Max.
Max Komar not afraid to go get the football. Max Komar not afraid to do it in traffic and trying to help out Nathan Enderley. And I think that you know, the emotion that I like to use between receivers and quarterbacks is trust. You know, you got to develop that trust and know that the guy's going to catch it for you. Some guys, you throw the ball, they won't fight for it. I think there's some trust now between that man, Max Komar, and Nathan Enderley.
2nd and 1. Complete first down, Stephen Brown. I know one thing that Rob Akey's going to like looking at this is the variety of receivers that they've spread it around to.
There, you know, when you break this down, are there mistakes that were made? Sure, of course there were. Did Nathan Enderley make a couple? Yes. But by and large, I'd sit there and say, I'd be very happy with his progress. Something you just talked about, you know, the fact that he's moving the ball to a lot of different receivers. I like most of his reads.
Deep middle, a little too much, almost picked. That hit the ground.
Not by much. Not by much.
Lee Smith downfield. That ball was a little hot for him.
Alex Kuba thinking that he got that. And I'm not as close as our cameras are, but it looked like a pretty close play there. But I've been wrong all the time. You know, we talked earlier about I thought Nathan Enderley was throwing the ball, and I thought his arm was going forward, and it obviously was not.
I think we're going to go replay here.
Yeah, see, if I'm not sure, the coaches usually will call for the replay. Yeah,
that's what it's for.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's so worried that replay is going to ruin the game. Because remember, it's going to ruin the NFL.
Northern Illinois is challenging the ruling on the field.
And in the college conferences, there's not any college. I shouldn't say that because the SEC's invested in a lot of equipment in the stadiums. Here it is.
All right, let's see. There's Kuba. He's got one hand out. Yeah, clearly.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I didn't see it. Now, wait a minute. Right
I'm being facetious. You can't see it there. We don't know. But we're going to get the same shots that anybody else is going to get. So that's not going to do anything to change the call.
And I think this is all we have of it. There's also the big screen show. No, in a lot of conferences, they've invested in a lot of cameras like the NFL has. It's standardized. But other conferences, I mean, the WAC and the MAC are like this. You're doing it with only so many looks. So the conferences are all laying out the line. It's just to make sure you're right.
My thought on instant replay has always been this: with the proliferation of television and football. A lot of people are watching it at home, and when you sit there and when you can clearly see that it's wrong. Yeah. When you can see it on TV, and then the team comes home, because I've been through this, and you say, what did it look like? And they say, well, clearly he didn't catch it, or he caught it, or clearly it was a fumble. If that tool is there for you, why not use it? And there are many times that more people watch a game on TV than in person, and I don't think that it really does slow the game down. Not more than a commercial does. So why not utilize it?
And in the perfect world, the officials have access to every camera in the stadium, the big screen, the TV broadcast, coaches all 22, and you have enough TiVos to do it. Now, that takes time to look at all those angles. Now, there was the infamous Oregon-Oklahoma incident last year, and a lot of that was because there's pressure to make a decision quickly.
Yeah, but everybody's going to point to that one time. You know, it's one mistake, and I think all across the country it's been used very, very effectively.
It has. I haven't heard any griping in the WAC. Well, besides from fans, but that's your job. Bird, nicely done, first down. Bird still rambling to the 10. And Enderle that time, with a white shirt in his face, put it in the right spot.
Jason Bird, and you said rambling, and I can't think of a better way to describe what he was doing going down that sideline. Nathan Enderle takes his time, sells it a little bit. You get some big fellas in front, nice block there, and then here he goes, full speed, straight ahead. That's what he does, holds on to that football. You can tell there's been a conversation about protecting the football, the way he held on to it there with two hands.
Looks like a little Tom Rathman out there. First down. Touchdown! Maurice Shaw into the end zone. A nifty 91-yard drive. Nathan Enderle playing his best football of the day.
I'm trying to do the math here, and I was no math major, but I think we're within a couple of touchdowns.
With 9 minutes to go. Keep playing.
I've seen a lot stranger things than that happen. And in football even.
Kick is good. It is a two-touchdown game, 9:18 to play. Northern Illinois 42, Idaho 28. Don't go clicking over yet. We got a fantastic finish in the works on the Go Vandals television network.
The greatest drivers.
There's the checkered flag for Allen.
The fastest cars. The biggest moments. Get under the hood with these fully loaded DVDs. Experience life at 200 miles per hour. ESPN Ultimate NASCAR. Own all 4 volumes on DVD now.
(42-28) now our score. 9:18 to play in the game. Time for the Northwest Dodge Dealers game summary. Show you that here in just a moment. Rob Akey. You can tell Rob Akey's still into this game. He paces. Get that pace on.
See, I think he does that going into brush his teeth at night.
Well, he does.
That
you know, he really looks. Walks into the media room after the game. First thing he says is, "How y'all doing?" And he talks just like that. Now, my first experience with Rob was at a Washington State spring practice in the snow in shorts. Here's your Northwest Dodge Dealers game summary. Speaking the language, very English. Nice day.
The English language, 11 tackles, 4 sacks, and close to more.
NIU used the turnovers to get 35 in the first half.
And Deontay Jackson, as we thought, would probably come up with 100 yards plus, 2 touchdowns, and unfortunately for Vandals fans, he is out of the game now.
No official word. Ankles, of course, tend to be a work in progress. Vandals would like a stop. They got it back to 2 touchdowns, but Justin Anderson is not an easy tackle.
No, he's not an easy out. That is without a doubt. And it's always going to be the challenge when you've got a running back like that. Do you sell your defense on stopping this guy because he can do so many things. He's so physical, can go inside, can go outside. And when you're keen on him in the running game, he can go catch the ball. And if you come up to stop him, who's to say out of this set you can't go deep, because we've seen him do it.
Second and short. Not that time. Rust. What do they say? Rust never sleeps.
Taylor Rust really put together a lot of big plays to this point. You see him there take on the blocker, fight out, stops the blocker, takes on the ball carrier. If you're a D-line coach, which you were alluding to the fact that the head coach was at one time, when you see a guy like that get great leverage, stop him, make the play and the tackle, can't do much better than what Taylor Rust just did.
Third down. It's be a good time to get the ball back if you're a Vandal. Here they come. Release to Anderson. Just got it. He almost hesitated. Ball's out. Now there's just a little action at the bottom of that. Vobora thinks the Vandals have it.
The officials have not let us know yet. More people coming out to give their opinion.
That's definitely a poke in the eye happening down there.
Yeah, line judge finally getting some people to back away.
Vandals think they have it. Still no signal.
Okay, enough. Come on. Come on. It's anarchy out there.
They still haven't signaled.
Somebody take charge. Who has the ball?
Are there any players left?
No.
Oh, it was an injured player. That's why. And let's see. Is that Anderson? We still do not have an indication. I'm guessing there.
No,
it is.
It is.
NIU ball. There's the signal.
Huskies ball.
And so part of that was untangling, and
yeah,
I think that is Justin Anderson.
Here we'll see the replay, and just when you're keen, you got it. He slips out there, and it's hard for me to fathom. He gives up the ball. Oh, well, he takes a shot like that.
Blevins. Owie.
Oh, boy, it was a scrum under there. You see he's got his back here. He's in an awkward position, and you don't see that coming. And that's about as hard a hit as you're going to take.
That looks below the pads. Not really a sting.
And Bob, I'll tell you from experience, you know, if you can brace yourself and you know it's coming, it's one thing. But when you're not aware and you can't tense up, flinch, whatever it is just a hard thing to take. And well, he's holding that left side.
So both of our do everything running backs have taken a beating today. Deontay Jackson going out with the ankle. Now Justin Anderson takes a shot. Walking fine. I would guess he will return.
Well, at the end of the day, when you and I are talking about this game, I think we'll look back and say it was a very physical football game.
Which you predicted at the beginning of the day.
Yeah. And well, it's not hard to predict that that's going to happen
with these teams. With Northern especially.
With the Huskies, I mean, that's something that they've done. That's a Joe Novak team, and you know, you're starting to see what Rob Akey wants. He wants a physical team too, and that was going to be the test coming into this.
Ricky Kreider in the game now at running back. First down from the 31. Kreider gets a crack to the 35. First carry of the year for the redshirt freshman from Evansville, Indiana.
See the push there from the front of the Huskies. They don't give up on their block at the point of attack. You know, it's one thing to come up and be a defender, and you can maybe stop the offensive lineman and fight him like we were talking about what Taylor Rust was doing before. And then when the running back comes in there and gets that extra push, if you've kept your feet moving, look what you get. You get a 6-yard gain.
I look at the one senior there, Chris Acevedo. Number 70, Marybach. Adamski, Onyebuagu, Brost. I don't think they've missed many downs either. Kreider again. And again, just run behind the blocks. That's a first down.
This is when we get into the fourth quarter, and you're going to see which team has gotten the advantage physically to try to wear down the opponent. And this is obviously an area that Idaho is going to have to develop over time. I've made this point before, but I think it bears repeating. You can't just walk into your team and say we're going to be physical. It takes some time, and it takes more than a spring practice, a fall practice, and 3 games.
Well, and you can be physical and aggressive and miss a lot of plays too, and get burned that way.
Yep.
Kreider to the 45, and they must want to keep the clock moving right now. The Vandals have already used 1 timeout.
Like what I've seen defensively from the Idaho Vandals. You know, you look at the scoreboard, you see 42 points. Well, you know, 21 of those points came on big plays that had nothing to do with the defense.
That's right. Really, the one big play was Simon's early touchdown.
And somehow he just got wide open, lost in coverage.
Keep it on the ground. Kreider will get him to 3rd and short. That's where you want to be.
Yeah, nothing too fancy here. You know, it's just going to be that inside zone that they've been very effective with. It's something that, as an offense, they have an inside zone, they have an outside zone. And here's good news. Justin Anderson back in. So if you are a Huskies fan, you'd like to see your star player. And on 3rd and 4, almost 5, dare we consider Justin Anderson might just get the ball again?
I'll place my bet before they spin the roulette. And I win. Although he does not get the first down. 32nd carry of the game. That is a career best, close to career best yardage.
Siwa Masika again coming in with a lot of penetration for the Vandals, and I think that penetration is integral in trying to break up what the Huskies are trying to get done. So if you've got a zone team that has been zoning, and you finally get a defensive lineman like Siwa who gets the penetration, I think that's what breaks up the plays.
And a flag. I think we ran out of play clock there.
Delay of game. Number 18 on the offense, 5 yards, remains 4th down.
And that's probably a positioning penalty for the punter.
Yeah, don't mind that.
We wanted that.
Give him room to breathe. Let him really stretch it out here in the Kibbie Dome.
Chance for Kale. A lot of space. Oh, yeah. 30. Sideways. About 10 extra yards right there. Vandals will get it at the 30-yard line with 3:49 to go in the game. Northern Illinois has struggled in the 4th quarter holding leads. Can the Vandals make a pay? 3 minutes and change left.
Won a game against a rank.
Hey, is that the game ball?
No.
Get that back in there, son. Oh, no, we're playing. First down from the 30. A lot of pressure coming right away on Enderle. Goes middle. That's caught at midfield. And that's Shaw again. And that is the look Steve Axman has been seeking. Middle deep. Maurice Shaw, very hard to cover. Vandals going to hurry up. Down 2 touchdowns with 3:40 to go.
Yeah, be careful. If you're going to put Maurice Shaw, you're going to cover him in man coverage. He may run by you.
And they're doing it again. They go middle again. Ooh, bobble. That's taken away. That's off the hands of Bird, and it's a pick for NIU.
I really would like to petition the NCAA I think there should be a separate category for interceptions that are in the hands of the receiver and then come off. Because there's a bad decision, there's bad throws, and then there's these.
It's like a lateral almost, and Tranchatella.
So my point is that's going to go down as an interception.
That's not Enderley's fault.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Can we you want to answer that?
Open-ended question here: is that the quarterback's fault? Then I would submit to you it is not. But who gets charged with it in the stats?
Vandals will start using some timeouts here with 3:40 to go. Some interesting results in the MAC today, and the Huskies have to like what they saw with Central Michigan. The Chippewas pounded by North Dakota State, 44-14.
Shocking development. Not a good day in Chippewa Nation.
There's Ball State almost took down Nebraska.
Almost. And, you could almost see that coming. You talk about having the swagger, the bravado knocked from you. I think that happened in Lincoln last week to the Cornhuskers.
See how Northern has struggled in the second half so far this season, but not today. And the 35 in the first half, big number. They've started fast against everyone. They played Iowa even. And the Vandals take their first of the remaining 2 timeouts. 2:42 to go in regulation. Northern Illinois trying to sneak home to the Cow with the victory. Take a break for our local stations on the Go Vandals TV network.
ESPN Game Plan is presented by Olivia, award-winning high-definition television.
On ESPN. Now be the OnStar hotline from LSU, the defensive tackle, the #1 man at that position on Mel's big board, Glenn Dorsey.
They're down, and Northern Illinois keeps it on the ground. The Vandal defense says, Justin goes backwards.
On the previous play, Shiloh Ko came up with a very big play. Enderley coming around, and check that out. Anderson coming around and changing the tempo, trying to do something, and Shiloh Ko not fooled by that at all.
So if there was ever a good time for another big play for Ko, it would be right now. Vandals have 1 timeout left.
Well, hopefully he can run backwards into the end zone. Pick it up on his fingertips.
Another 100.
Yeah.
Good block. What a nice bounce out of bounds. Vandals have a 37 with 1:53 left. And good pressure that time on Dittbetter.
Nice special teams action there.
And now we'll get a look at the Vandals hurry up.
Again, another opportunity here. 1:53. Are you telling your team to win? No, but are you telling them to quit? Probably not. You got to be a realist as a coach, or you'll lose your credibility. But I have not seen a scintilla of quit in the Vandals ball club.
First down. And really looking out. Shaw off the fingers. I think Shaw shows he belongs in this offense today.
Oh yeah. I'd like to see him run down the field. I'd like to see him work in a vertical fashion, because there's a couple of times I've seen him when they were able to get him in man coverage and the defender just could not stay with him. And I think that's going to be his future. I think he's going to be that type of a threat. A guy that's going to go vertical on you, spread things out.
2nd and 10. It is deep, tight end. Bjorvik, first down. Stop the clock, move the chains.
Peter Bjorvik, he's getting deep. So you name it. The safeties are playing so deep in this.
Shaw has 5 catches, Komar 4, Bird 4, Bjorvik 4. Talked about the balance earlier. Inside. Williams, that's a first down. Stop the clock again. Or is it? There's still, clock's still rolling.
Still rolling.
They're short. They only got 9. Minute 20. Deflection. Almost trouble there. Tranchatella again. Talk so much about English. Johnny Trancatella's had a day. The sophomore.
Well, it's interesting. You know, you got a one-step drop there. You're trying to get rid of that ball, and the ball batted down. Now you've got 3rd and short.
That's Corey Hansen who got the hand on it. Yeah, that's another surprise number for you folks in Illinois.
Empty formation, no running backs. Gonna have to get rid of it.
Rolling the short side. Caught, first down to the 15. Gomar wanted a face mask there. Look at him getting up, mouthing off against those big defenders. Max Comar listed at 5'10".
Generously listed, but he'll go get the ball for you.
6th catch.
You know, I mean, in theory, down the road, if you had Maurice Shaw going deep and Max coming underneath that.
Touchdown, Vandals. That's a nice little march by Nathan Enderle. Eddie Williams.
All right, let's start talking about it. You kick it here, onside kick. Again, I wasn't a math major, but you're right back in here. Here's Enderle, quick 3-step drop. He knows where he's going to go. Oh, you pay for it at the goal line, but it is a touchdown. When I said I didn't see a scintilla of quit in this team, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's a lot of the epic that Rob Akey's tried to bring in. And it shows. This team keeps on playing, and now they're within a score. And now we see how well you've coached up your special teams. The first short kick of the year coming up.
But I'm sure nobody sees it coming, right? I'm sure the Huskies.
There'll be nobody in a white shirt.
Yeah, they're not aware that it's going to be an onside kick here. I'll tell you something. Big plays are something that you want to guard against, but they do happen. And some teams will go south when a big play happens to them. A big play. More teams will go south when 2 big plays happen against them. But if I submit to you that you had 3 plays that went for 21 points, there's a lot of teams that would probably say, yeah, that's it. That has not happened today with the University of Idaho. They've hung in there, kept fighting, chipping away, when it seemingly all was lost. You know, going in at halftime, it was a big lead, and a lot of teams would have said no way. In theory, you still got a chance here with an onside kick to get possession and get down and send this game into, dare I say, overtime.
10 men up. And look at Idaho, 2 bunches. You can see where this is going to be. You're going to chunk it right over the 2 lines and have 4 guys run down, blast everybody in a white shirt, and you can get the ball. On the air, Vandals have it!
Wow.
You know, it's just like Tino practices that all the time. And Eric Greenwood, one of the tallest guys on this team, at 6'6", the true freshman from Edmonds, up to get it.
See, when you tell guys not to quit, keep their heads in the game and stay cool, something might happen for you. They're talking about something like this. You got to have breaks. I mean, you've had some big breaks go against you in this game. It'd be so easy to hang your head and say, oh, well, we're not as good as they are. You talk about an exciting finish. I don't think we were anticipating something quite this exciting at halftime.
Promised land is 53 yards away. Enderle in the shotgun. A little more heat this time. Comar almost one-hands it.
Nathan Enderle has a habit of trying to decide where he's going to go with the ball ahead of time from time to time. And he's not guilty of it 100% of the time. In fact, it's a very low percentage.
Enderle getting up near 400 yards today. Almost his season total.
But can you blame him for wanting to throw the ball to Max Comar?
the other way, there's Bird. Bird's going to get the first inside the 40 with 50 seconds left. Vandals still have a timeout, and they stop the clock to move the chains. It's all hands on deck. Deontay Jackson's out of the game. Jay Bird has risen to the challenge.
Love this call by Steve Axman. You know there's penetration. They've been trying to get after your quarterback. You throw the screen over there.
Now deep middle, tight end, inside the 20 for the first down. Bjorvik. 39 seconds. Now you're almost not worried about the clock.
Peter Bjorvik has kind of, been a secret weapon there. You forget about it, all of a sudden he comes up with a big play down the field.
Komar in the slot.
Here we are.
There we go for the corner. Shaw! Jump ball! Incomplete.
Oh, how close was that?
That could have been picked. That would have been number 2 for Carter. Could have been a touch.
If you're gonna throw that fade to the post, you gotta, or you throw that fade to the corner, you gotta throw it to the corner. It's got to go over the top. Let the receiver run over there and meet the ball. The ball has to meet him. But that's part of the growth process, part of the learning that Nathan Enderle's going through right now.
Second down. 27 seconds remaining. They're going to have to use the timeout here. Enderle at least got back to the line of scrimmage, but now they'll have to take the timeout with 19 seconds left.
Rob Akey did about a 4.40 getting down to the line judge to call that timeout. He hasn't lost it. But that's being aware of your situation, and that is part of game management. That's part of clock management to know. You're trying to throw it.
Time now for our Pepsi Vandal Rewind. Second half has changed dramatically. We talked about Northern Illinois not holding leads. How did the Vandals get back into this game? Well, Deontay got it started.
Nice run there, using everybody, and Rob Akey talking to everybody, hey, just keep playing, keep doing your thing. And then you think to yourself, when are we going to stop the Russian attack? But here's Bird. Blockers up front. Oh, as he had a big second half. And Enderle once again to cap it off.
And again, our keys to refreshment. What did we talk about?
No, we're going to have to put Jackson / Bird.
We're going to add
wild.
to that. 3rd and 10. Enderle thinking end zone, tips. A little heart jumps up there for Coach Akey.
Does anybody here like drama? Do you like that feeling when your heart is pounding? You get in the coach's position, which officially is when you get up and you bend over your hands on your knees.
There's the Enderle numbers. He is over 400 now for the game.
Well, 4th down. 15 seconds.
Here's your ball game right here. You'll have to get in the end zone. And again, the pressure. Larry English fittingly closes it out for Northern Iowa. English and Ed Jackson working together, but it's been the pressure of English throughout the day.
Well, if you are Larry English, you better have this tape at the ready when you're 50 years old, because to have that kind of a day and then to come up with at the end there on 4th down when the game is on the line. An astonishing performance by Larry English. 4th down, coming off the edge. Boy, he gets deep. And you see that speed that he has. He's been coming outside so many times, and that time he sets up the outside move and comes back inside.
And you saw he had Chris Anderson backing up from the beginning. There's the kneel down, and time to shake hands and get on to your conference seasons. Northern Illinois breaks out with their first victory of the year. They're 1-3. They'll face Central Michigan next week. And the Vandals get ready for Hawaii and Colt Brennan right here at the Dome. 2 o'clock Pacific time next Saturday. Vandal fans, you'll want to be here in person for that one. Pretty good football game as the Vandals overcome some early problems. and have a chance to even it up. But Northern Illinois escapes with a 42-35 win. That's our final score today from the Kibbie Dome. NIU 42, Idaho 35. Our next game on the Go Vandals television network is coming up Saturday, October 6th from San Jose, 1 o'clock Pacific time for the Vandals and the San Jose State Spartans. Don't forget you can get tickets for any Idaho athletic event by going online to govandals.com.
ESPN Game Plan is presented by Olivia, award-winning high-definition television.
Also the first quarterback of San Jose State to lead the team in rushing 3 straight games. It's quite an athlete.
Completed 66% of his passes last year, school record. Only 58% this year, but we're still looking for the first win. On 1st and 5, pressure, flushed out of there, throws on the run, a diving attempt, and that is caught. Great play by Jalal